Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome back, everyone, to our weekly conversation with the commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. And Commissioner, blaming you on the bad weather last week for football. It was one of those crazy nights, and I think it's always appropriate on those kinds of nights to review with everyone the specific protocol on inclement weather, specifically lightning and thunder, because we had a lot of it last week.
We did, Coach, and there's certainly specific guidelines put out by the National Federation of High Schools dictate when we must shut a game down when we see lightning, and also gives us a standard to use when we can begin. And, at the end of the day, we have to come back the next day or we got to delay that night. But it's more important to be safe and keep our fans safe and our student-athletes safe. And I think that was the primary goal last Friday night, as tough as it was. But we got through it, and we're going to play week 3 here.
In addition to football, you and your staff, this time of year is a busy time for everybody involved in high school athletics. And you've been involved with some of your counterparts, some commissioners around the Midwest, in some meetings in these past few days. What's on the mind of your colleagues around the Midwest?
Well, I don't think, it's maybe popular, maybe unpopular, Coach, but I've just left 13 of my counterparts from the Midwest, and we spent 4 days together, and we really just walked through a bunch of topics. But the thing that the NCAA transfer portal and what's happened with that environment is really starting to affect high schools and what's going on in the high school setting. And we're different than the NCAA, especially the Division I or the Power 5, that we are sitting here trying to have kids an opportunity to grow up a little bit with their uniform that says their school name on it. That's something that everybody has on their mind right now because, an individual parent, I understand their focus on their kid only. But what they forget about is there's a student-athlete that's not involved in a process when we do a transfer that doesn't have a voice in the room, and we always have to be worried about displacement also. But that and, finances, and we talked about how tournaments are structured, and there's just a whole litany of topics. We saw some software development people are using to align tournaments, success factors, and one thing I can tell you, Coach, is nobody's got it completely figured out. Everybody continues to try to adjust and make it work for their state. And there's always nuances that are different, and Indiana is no different. You
also now kick off your annual statewide tour, talking to athletic directors and principals around the state. I know, number one, it's great to be out there to visit with your colleagues. And secondly, you get a chance face-to-face to talk about issues that are critical to the state of Indiana and specifically to the IHSAA. And so, number one, be safe. So what are some of the major agenda items on this tour?
Well, Coach, it's one of those. It's an annual meeting that we have. We're 3 weeks, 8 different spots around the state. We were in Lowell, Indiana today. We'll be in Plymouth, Indiana tomorrow, and 3 more spots next week and 3 the following week. But a lot of things we talk about, we go over the association finances. We are a not-for-profit, but we're a membership organization. So every school really needs to have significant input into how we did that last year and how we're going to do this year, and changes in the bylaws, and all those things are important. And we do seek school input because, there's folks out there, one of the misnomers is that we are a taxpayer-funded organization, and that's not the case. I mean, we are a not-for-profit. We are a voluntary membership, or voluntary organization, voluntary membership, and we talk a lot about those things, but we give them a full financial picture of what last year looked like. We talk about transfers. We talk about, our foundation. We talk about officials. We talk about sportsmanship. We talk about the new sports coming on, girls flag, boys volleyball and girls wrestling, and we just adopted for the 25-26 school year girls lacrosse, and so it gives us a chance to also celebrate our sponsors along the way. So there's just a whole litany of information that we try to provide to our membership.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
Network, streaming worldwide on the internet at facebook.com/regionsports, RSN YouTube, regionsports.com, and IHSAATV.com. We come to you tonight from Demery Stadium at Merrillville High School as Region Sports Network presents our top-ranked Crown Point Bulldogs against our second-ranked Merrillville Pirates. I'm Mike Jamia. I'll have the play-by-play for tonight's game, and joining me with color analysis is Doug Ashenball. Doug, good. How about you?
I am doing well, man. You talk about getting in real quick, season just starting, and we got probably the biggest game we were talking about here for the year already here coming in week 3, but couldn't ask for better weather. Perfect. Atmosphere over here on the Merrillville Pirates side is electric, and it's going to be exciting tonight.
Yeah, the national anthem just finished right before we got on air, and what a great anthem it was. The Merrillville band playing, and it really sets the tone here. The stirring rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. It's because for as long as I can think in the United States. As long as the United States has had an interest in sports, there's always been a fascination about the biggest and the best squaring off, and that's exactly what we have here tonight with two heavyweights going toe-to-toe on the gridiron here at Demery Stadium.
We do, yeah. Obviously, we know we have Crown Point. Everyone knows Crown Point, making a trip down to state last year, looking to get back down there this year, and then same for Merrillville. They lost in semi-state, unfortunately, last year. They're looking to get down to state and make that, and man, both these teams have fired off these first couple weeks here, and you talk about heavyweight matchups. That's exactly what we got here tonight. And we talked a little bit about the field too as well here, and this really is a football field, so you kind of feel that atmosphere. You can feel that electricity, especially when two heavyweights are going at it. The fans are closer, the stands are closer to the sidelines. Everything's a little bit more compact, even though how big this stadium is. It is truly going to be a heavyweight matchup tonight. I'm excited and looking forward to it.
Yeah, and Doug, you mentioned kind of what it looks like here. So for everyone that's listening right now, it's an audio-only broadcast. We will add video to it at a later date. And so to kind of describe what we're seeing here, turf field, beautiful, gorgeous turf. It's got the purple outline alongst it. But what's most notable is that there is not a track around. So therefore, the stands are able to be that much closer to the field. It is a true, like Doug mentioned, it's a true football stadium. This is only for football. This is not a multi-purpose facility. This is strictly football. And here at Demery Stadium, which seats, I would imagine, well over 7,000 people. This one is just an electric atmosphere, and the Merrillville faithful really came in here strong tonight. Our camera will be positioned facing the visiting stands, but if we're able to potentially get a look at the people right directly in front of us, it's absolutely packed.
Yeah, it is, and it was senior night too as well, which we just witnessed, and obviously that's going to bring a lot more here, but obviously this team too as well. It's a very, very good Merrillville Pirate football team, and I would imagine any home game on a Friday night is always going to have a packed home stands.
Yeah, and speaking of senior night, this Merrillville Pirates team, they have quite the dynamic duo in the backfield with J.Q. Johnson and Cameron Jordan, but they are being led by an all-senior offensive line. Doug, if you're Crown Point, how do you contain this rushing attack?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we see the 3-5 for Crown Point quite frequently. They have a very good defensive line, very good nose tackle with Mark Gonzalez there. I think, though, with how powerful this run game is for Merrillville, like you just said, led all by seniors on the offensive line, I think you're going to see some shifts. I think you may get a couple more D linemen that are going to come down, put their hands in the ground, and kind of get after it. So, yes, we're going to see the 3-5 for sure out of Crown Point, but I also think we're going to see a lot of adjustments to try to slow down this rushing attack for the Merrillville Pirates.
Yeah, you mentioned that 3-5-3 defense that Craig Bazia likes to run at Crown Point, and it gives them that versatility to kind of what you're talking about is put an extra guy in the box, try to go +1, get an extra hat there, and really improve your chances. But when it comes to the Crown Point Bulldogs, they've been able to put up a ton of points. And how does this Merrillville Pirate defense, who hasn't allowed a single point so far this year, meet the challenge of facing this Crown Point offense?
It's a very high, powerful offense that we know of, led by Noah Ehrlich over there for the Crown Point Bulldogs. Again, a lot of seniors too as well. You got 3 seniors that are going to be in their 4-3 that they kind of run with Merrillville, and you're going to kind of lead on their leadership here to be able to disrupt and get in the backfield, put some pressure on Noah, make him scramble out, move his feet, kind of move that pocket. So if you're Merrillville there, I guarantee you all week they've been really, really harping on, let's get off the ball quick, let's get in the backfield, let's get in Noah's face, and let's slow down that passing game they have.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting one. We have a read here, a message from the city of Crown Point. Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog Athletics and say, go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. Mayor Land and the Pace team invite everyone to admire classic cars and new autos at the Crown Point Car Cruise from 4 to 8 p.m. most Thursdays through September 26th at Bulldog Park. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/car cruise. So, for those of you listening, we are here at Demery Stadium in Merrillville, Indiana. The Merrillville Pirates are wearing their home purple uniforms, one of the most iconic uniforms in the region. And the Crown Point Bulldogs will be wearing their white uniforms. So the Merrillville Pirates, they're wearing purple with white numbers outlined in black. And Crown Point, they're wearing their white jersey tops with red pants with white stripes along the side of those pants and red stripes along the shoulders of their white jerseys with red helmets.
And looking down over here, I see Mark Gonzalez with the captains with no pads on. Their nose tackle that we were just talking about, number 99, looks like he got a knee brace on. So something went down last week. Obviously, I know he tweaked it, but it doesn't look like he is going to be in this game tonight. But he is out there with the captains right now. But that's a big blow for Crown Point right there. Especially we were talking about that 3-5 and how important that nose tackle and how well he has played for the first couple weeks. Seeing him not in pads, that is that's tough right there for Crown Point Bulldogs tonight. Especially we talked about that rushing attack with the Merrillville Pirates. So they're obviously going to be leaning on Carson Witham, number 98, filling in at that nose tackle. So that's going to be a big game for him tonight. And seeing how he comes up and steps in, he's a junior as well. Big boy though, 6 foot 245. So. That's a big blow, though, for Crown Point. Yeah, that makes things very interesting for the Crown Point Bulldogs defense. Like you mentioned, that nose guard playing in the middle of that 3-5-3, that first three, that middle guy on the defensive line, trying to take that interior, trying to provide that interior pressure to Merrillville's quarterbacks. We say quarterbacks, plural, because in week 3 they have trotted out 2 different quarterbacks, and they're still kind of trying to figure out who that quarterback is going to be. And so a huge sigh of relief for the Pirates with this absence. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree. But you're right. Both juniors over there, Jordan Sanders and Darnell Bowles for the Merrillville Pirates, been taking snaps, and both of them are trying to find, settle in. And, we're again, probably going to see some snaps between both of them until they can maybe name a starter or one kind of shows out a little bit more and takes that lead role. But, that's a very, very big blow right there. And obviously, you're just looking at that. Merrillville's got to be somewhat excited to see that their starting nose guard is not going to be in tonight. Absolutely. We've talked a lot about this one as well as everyone else in the state of Indiana. But all that talk can only do so much. At a certain point, you just got to play the game, and here we go. Opening kickoff to Crown Point. Returned at the 5, brought out to the 20-yard line, makes move inside, bounces to the 25-yard line before he's met by a bunch of Pirates there. So Crown Point will start at the 25, perhaps the 26-yard line. Yeah, good, just So here come the Crown Point Bulldogs on offense to start this drive. They started at the 27-yard line. Noah Ehrlich under center. They're in a tight formation here out of the pistol. The team motion, so now they have 2 wide receivers to the right. Looks like a false start, perhaps. Yeah, so Merrillville, let's see what the officials have to say about it here. As they join, they look to the sidelines, and the officials will convene. Yeah, sorry about that. I had a little headset difficulty there, but yeah, I thought Merrillville jumped off sides, and then we had a massive formation shift by Crown Point, and then they moved, and the ball didn't snap. A lot going on. You could tell these nerves are kind of up for both teams right now. Big game.
Yep. So they signal a false start against Crown Point, so they'll back up. So they'll replay first down. This time now from the 22-yard line after the 5-yard penalty. They look to the sideline for the signal. But, yeah, that motion to start the game, Doug, that's something you do perhaps to see what Merrillville is in defensively, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're going to throw it at them real quick. You're going to see how they're going to adjust. Are they going to adjust? You want to see right off the rip is what Coach Buzz is thinking there of what that defense is going to be doing all night.
So there's some confusion here. Is this
and another sideline warning on Crown Point?
So before we have the first play of the game, we already have a penalty and a sideline warning. One receiver to each side. Noah Ehrlich drops back to pass. Looks, runs, past the 30. He's got space. All the way out to the 45-yard line, Noah Ehrlich with a first play scramble to start the game.
We talked about that pressure, but again, Noah is very, very good at staying calm, staying patient in the pocket. He actually had a receiver open in the middle of the field, but he slipped, and he was able then to step up in the pocket. He saw a gap to the left, and he was able to make a nice scramble with a stiff arm there. Again, using his feet, we've seen it for many years now from Noah, and he's just getting better at that.
Noah Ehrlich leads this offense for Crown Point Bulldogs. He's got 6 passing touchdowns, no interceptions on the year, and after the big run there, it's 4 seasons, first down. Ehrlich hands the ball off to the right, met by a bunch of Pirates, but falling forward for a gain of a couple.
Yeah, that was just simple power play. Obviously, they have Larry Ellison, too, as well. We didn't talk much about him, in the pregame here, but I mean, he's electric in the backfield. They're going to want to get the ball into his hands, too, as well. As much as they want Noah passing, he is a great, great rusher. I mean, he's single-season rushing record last year for Crown Point, All-State. That is a guy you want the ball in his hands, too, as well.
And here we are in Week 3, and Larry Ellison so far in the year, 20 carries for 260 yards and 3 touchdowns. Man in motion. We'll see if they give the ball back to him. They don't. They play action, throw it out to the right. But a great tackle in the open field by Merrillville.
I believe that on that one was Jalen Ramsey, number 5, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, he was able to come up, but you also got to give Crown Point Bulldog, some props there. He kept his feet moving. He should have been about 2-3 yards back on that quick little out. But he was able to keep his feet moving and drive for a couple more yards to make this a little bit more manageable on third down for Crown Point.
It's an excellent point there, Doug, as it's now third down with 2 yards to go. So the 3rd and 2. Hand off to Ellison inside. Gains another 4 seasons, first down.
Merrillville Pirates, they were moving too as well. Looked like they were trying to shift into some type of defense, but Crown Point caught them off guard a little bit. The linebackers were real close and bunched up in the middle, and they just hit that straight power to Larry Ellison to move the chains.
Yep, so that 4 seasons first down is brought to you by 4 Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. So Crown Point marching down the field. There's 10 minutes remaining here in the first quarter, first drive of the game for the Bulldogs. Fake the handoff to Ellison, rolling right. Great pass there to the right side, and with plenty of space running up the sideline for the Crown Point Bulldogs. And that's number 39, Trevor Gibbs.
Yeah, Trevor Gibbs. Obviously, he's a big tight end for them. He's also kind of that H-back style where he blocks in the back. He kind of plays wing sometimes. But you want to talk about, you run with Ellison a couple times, and they're trying to key on him, and then you run the play action rollout. and he just slipped out from the backside over across to the other side of the field. And he was wide open. Unfortunately, he stepped out of bounds much sooner than he would have liked because he was close to the end zone there. But a nice play-action pass set up there from the Crown Point Bulldogs.
And that Four Seasons first down brings them into the red zone now with the ball at the 19-yard line. Ehrlich steps up to the line of scrimmage, gives a signal, hands off to Ellison inside for a gain of 1 or 2.
Yeah, great play right there, Jeremiah Jordan, the middle linebacker for Merrillville Pirates, just stepping up, reading that kind of dive gap. They brought that motion to with Trevor Gibbs again to the strong side here, blocking, kind of sealing the edge, but he was able to fill that A gap right up the middle. Just a great play by Jeremiah Jordan there.
After the 2-yard gain, it's second down and 8 yards to go with the ball on the 16-yard line. And in a matter of a couple plays, we have gotten a minute of the game clock to run off, so there's 9 minutes remaining in the first quarter. First drive here, again with that bootleg to the right. Instead, he stops on a dime, throws it across the middle to Gibbs. Once again, Gibbs falling forward inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and again, they went right back to that play where they had the big Trevor Gibbs pass recently. Is just, hey, we're going to run. We're going to hit that play action again, and Crown Point does play action so well because they have so many weapons, especially with Larry Ellison in the backfield. But you want to talk about some great hands by Trevor Gibbs. He was in some traffic. Noah put it in there. There was some speed on that ball, and he was able to come down in traffic for a very, very big play and a very big first down.
Yeah, that second reception was certainly more difficult than the first.
Yeah.
And it gets them to inside the 5, handoff to Ellison. Falling forward just short of the goal line. So we'll see. Now it's first down, or second down, and they hurry up. Quick handoff to Ellison, and he's tackled at the line of scrimmage. So now third down and goal.
Yeah, great play by the safety, actually. Merrill obviously being in the end zone, you only got a yard to go. They brought their safeties in much closer to the line of scrimmage, and Warren Brown just flew off the edge, knowing it was going to Larry Ellison on the power, and he was able to stop him. He actually went backwards, and they were inches away from the goal line. So you want to talk about a very, very good stance there. Warren Brown came flying up from that safety position and made a very big tackle in the backfield.
So after the first rush by Ellison, they go no huddle. They rush it to him again quickly. And now they're in a wildcat with Ellison back there, man in motion. Ellison direct snap to him. And a big stop there by the Pirates defense to force a big decision here. Perhaps going to just go for a field goal. And that's a great goal line stand by the Pirates defense.
And again, Warren Brown, I just said his name on the last play. He was in the play again, obviously with a couple other Merrillville Pirate defense there. But this is a very big stop right here for the Merrillville Pirates defense, and I haven't seen the field goal unit come out yet for Crown Point, but when you're inches away and you've lost yardage now on these next 2 plays, Merrillville Pirates defense starting to wake up maybe a little bit.
Yeah, that ball looks like it's spotted at the 3-yard line, maybe the 2.5-yard line. We'll get a timeout, Crown Point. So, Doug, early in this game, you've marched down the field. If you're Coach Bazia, do you settle for 3 points potentially, or do you go for it? You just mentioned you just got stuffed twice, or 3 times rather, with those runs up the middle.
If I'm Coach Buzz, I think I'm going for it. With being this close, this big of a game, obviously a DAC opponent as well for the conference, and I think you need to go for it here. I think you need to make a statement. You've done very, very well, and you've driven down the field just as you just stated. Yeah, it does get a little bit harder, though, for your offense. Now that defense is playing a lot less field behind you, and it can be tough. But if you're Coach Buzz, I think you need to go for it. I think you want to punch this in. You want to make a statement saying, hey, a couple plays backwards doesn't mean that we're going away by any means. And I think it also will – Merrillville's got some momentum right now on their defense. If you can punch in a touchdown, that kind of chops that momentum back down and swings it back over to your favor, obviously, by scoring a touchdown. I say go for it. You got Larry Ellison, you got Noah. When you got those 2 with the ball in their hand, you got a pretty good shot.
And if you're Merrillville, do you do anything differently here defensively? Do you maybe perhaps anticipate that you're going to see like that play action bootleg, do you do anything differently defensively, or do you just kind of run it back?
You're definitely alerting your team right now. I can see play action. I can almost see maybe even somewhat of kind of a trick style play where you run power, the running back throws it over to the H-back, something similar like that. So you got your defense on alert.
Ehrlich gets the snap, hands off to the right side to Ellison, and Ellison scores the first touchdown of this game for the Crown Point Bulldogs.
Yeah, simple just kind of off-tackle power to their strong side, the right side there, and man, the offensive line did a great job blocking down and sealing that edge for Ellison just to get those 3 tough yards.
So a couple big chunk plays for the Bulldogs, but then they found themselves in some tough territory once they got to the goal line, as they had to convert a 4th down for a touchdown. On for the PAT, and it's blocked. So Oliver Brewer for the Crown Point Bulldogs comes up empty on the PAT.
Special teams doesn't always get, the credit they deserve, but that is a very big play for special teams, especially to shave that point off. You can march down here and take that lead. You can get some momentum back from Merrillville.
All right, you're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
This box is small, like Pet Supplies Plus. This one is large, like a big box store. In each, stew, and a toy. Question is, which dog will find it first? Ta-da! Moose, no! You were so close.
Discover excellence at Moeller Acura of Merrillville. Whether you're seeking the thrill of a new Acura or the reliability of a certified pre-owned, we have the perfect vehicle waiting for you. At Moeller Acura, our knowledgeable team is here to provide you with the first-class experience from your first test drive to every service appointment. Experience luxury, performance, and unparalleled service at Moeller Acura of Merrillville, where your journey begins. Visit us today or explore our inventory online at MoellerAcuraofMerrillville.com.
Welcome back. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. So the Crown Point Bulldogs, they draw first blood in this one. And Oliver Brewer, after the blocked point after attempt, he will squib kick this one to the Pirates. It's dove on at the 28-yard line. So that's where the Pirates will set up shop in this one. So like we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, talking about both teams, we talked about this 3-5-3 defense that the Crown Point Bulldogs employ. And we've talked about Merrillville on offense and how they're intent on running the football. They have J.Q. Johnson, who's been tremendous this year, but also Cameron Jordan has been a standout in these first 2 games in this rushing attack. And they will have Darnell Bowles as quarterback to start this one. 2 men go in motion to the right side, and we'll see what they do. Snap to Bowles, hand off to the right, getting space, making a guy miss, making a second guy miss, and running past the 40-yard line there for the Merrillville Pirates, and that's number 21, Cameron Jordan. Cameron Jordan, big run to the right side there after they motioned 2 guys there. A great lead block by number 56, and that's tight end Jamal Cherry. So the Pirates going to their bread and butter to start, and we'll see what they do. Same motion look here. The snap. And they hand it off once again, this time through the middle gap. Makes another man miss for another 4 seasons first down. Cameron Jordan getting it done in the first 2 carries, first 2 plays for the Pirates.
Yeah, and Merrillville's going to continue to keep, obviously, going to that. I mean, he's some very powerful runs right up the gut. We are seeing that 3-5 from Crown Point right now. We do have a little bit of a slide action, it looks like, where they're bringing and that 4th D lineman I was talking about in the pregame. But just keep running, keep going up that gut. It's very, very, very tough to stop that.
Another handoff, this time to J.Q. Johnson. and he's met by a bunch of Bulldogs.
Yeah, great play there. As I just talked about right there, you kind of saw a little bit of a shift from Crown Point. They went to that 4 down lineman set, sliding out of that 3-5, getting a little bit more, fingers in the ground up front for the Merrillville Pirate offensive lineman to have to block right off the bat rather than getting to those linebackers instantly.
J.Q. Johnson comes in for one play and then exits. For those of you listening at home, J.Q. Johnson really trying to stand out in this one in terms of his appearances. He's wearing these highlighter green cleats with the gloves, and it's going to help us on the broadcast be able to identify. Bowles steps back to pass across the field, goes to the right sideline just outside the numbers, and that pass is long and incomplete. So it's now 3rd and long for the Pirates.
Yeah, great defense right there by Andy Parent, too, as well. He was really locked down. He had nowhere to go with that ball. He knew he had to throw it to the outside shoulder, to the sideline, if his receiver would have any chance. But, just great defense there by Andy Parent, the senior quarterback.
So we have 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Tight end back there. Bowles gets it, throws it to his right across the middle. And that is a Four Seasons first down after the great pitch and catch from Bowles to Martin.
Yeah, great quick slant route. He knew where the sticks were going to be. He put it right on the button, a little bit low. Great job by Martin going down low and scooping that up.
So the Merrillville Pirates, they're marching on offense here in their first drive. We see that motion again where they motion the tight end and the fullback, this time from right to left, and they hand off again to Cameron Jordan, who's met at the line of scrimmage by the Crown Point defense.
Great defense again by Crown Point, and it started with that D-line. We talked about how well their D-line, obviously we know where they were without Mark Gonzalez tonight, but stepping up right now. They were still in that 3-man front. They were able to hit those gaps and be able to stop that kind of dive power play by Merrillville. We saw a lot of success from in those first two plays.
Martin, the lone receiver to Bowles' right. He's got 3 receivers to his left. And Cameron Jordan remains in the backfield. Fakes the handoff, tries a quick throw over the middle, but that throw is behind the intended receiver for an incomplete pass.
He may be still running right now, actually, in the end zone. He obviously missed his target, but if he would have waited just 1 second longer, he had him coming over across the middle of the field with no one in sight. Unfortunately, he just kind of missed his target and threw it behind.
Yeah, offensive coordinator Josh Wissing, he employs a lot of crossing action regardless of the look, whether it's in man or in zone. That crossing action is a staple in this offense. Bowles to pass, crossing route right there to the left. Nothing but daylight for the Pirates, and they tie this one up after the touchdown by Holly Denny.
John Peters just ran a cross route. He came from their sideline, cross route over to the Crown Point, and they sent a blitz, which freed up that kind of space that you could throw right behind the linebackers that were staying there. And great downfield blocking, though, by the Merrillville Pirate receiver. I mean, he was blocking the kid all the way into the end zone to ensure John Peters was crossing that line. But it was a great crossing route, left him wide open on that linebacker blitz, and he finished it.
Yeah, John Peters on the touchdown reception there. Denny also wearing number 11, but not in the game there. And the PAT is good, so the Pirates take an early lead here at Demery Stadium. It's 7-6. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me to the Crowd Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowd Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Welcome back. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. For those of you listening, the Merrillville Pirates just took an early lead after the PAT And this now is a Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated. Kick deep, and that one was mishandled, but since he touched it, but it looked like he touched the ball at the goal line, but the official is ruling a touchback. Doug, I'm curious as to why that is.
So, yeah, he touched the ball. The thing, though, is it didn't go out of the back of the end zone. It went to the side of the end zone. So since it rolled out of the side of the end zone, you're going to call that a touchback with it. Now, obviously, Merrillville could have came down before it went out of bounds and recovered by all means. But, yes, it went out the side of the end zone versus the back of the end zone. The reason why it came to being a touchback.
Okay. So after that touchback, Crown Point Bulldogs, they will set up shop at the 20-yard line. They were able to march all the way downfield and score a touchdown in their first drive. So second drive here begins with Noah Ehrlich, a man in motion. Noah Ehrlich, handoff to Ellison is a fake, and across the middle, again, that chunk play, and we see it to the same receiver, and that is the tight end for the Crown Point Bulldogs.
Trevor Gibbs, yes. Yeah, that's Trevor Gibbs again. Obviously, they utilize him a lot in the passing. He comes out of that H-back position, too, as well, like I was talking about with the wing, where he can get lost sometimes going through that line of scrimmage. But, man, he hit the seam. Noah Ehrlich knew he was open from the get-go, and he was able to take it down the field. That's exactly how you want to answer the Merrillville Pirates after that touchdown.
So they start their drive on their own 20-yard line, and after one play, they're inside the Pirates' 20-yard line. Ball spotted on the 18, and it's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Trevor Gibbs, 3 chunk plays in this one, 2 on the first drive, and the first play, the second drive, for a huge gain. We get a timeout. So if you're Merrillville, I mean, you had the success in the red zone defense, being able to kind of stand up for a while until, Crown Point was able to convert on a 4th and goal. Defensively, are you thinking like, okay, you just got to forget about that last big chunk play? Like, what's the mindset here now?
Yeah, right now you're resetting, letting them know, hey, obviously we know he's a weapon for us, or for them, and we need to make sure we're covering and identifying him before the snap. One big positive though here is Crown Point's already burned 2 timeouts in the first quarter. That's very, very big, obviously for the Merrillville Pirates, too, as well. So, you get another stance here, and you can get a goal line stop, maybe come out with just a field goal. They only got 1 timeout left. You can control it with your powerful running that you've had. That's a very big thing right now, that's for the Crown Point. They're having to take 2 timeouts already with 4 minutes still left in the first quarter. That's big, and this side of the game, obviously, as it currently is, how big of a game it is, you want to try to reserve those as possible into that second quarter when it may be a little bit tighter right before halftime.
Yeah, that's a great point, and we see out there on the field is Ellison along with Ehrlich. They're in the huddle. That ball spotted on the 18-yard line. They break from the huddle. Let's see the formation here. So we have 2 receivers to the left, 1 back in the backfield. Ellison in motion, and it's a read option, and kept by Ehrlich and rushed up the middle for a gain of 4.
It's a nice play call, too, as well by Coach Buds. Obviously, they know they're a very aggressive defense. They have some very good defense alignment, too, as well. I love that read option. They just kind of, obviously options in it, but it gives you that double option with Ellison and Noah to keep the ball in their hands. And reading those aggressive linemen, they're going to go after that first handoff, kind of that fake that you want, and you're able to hit up the gut 6-7 yards at a time. That's a very good call coming out of that timeout for Buzz.
So after that option play, quarterback keeper, see what they do here. Fakes the handoff, throws to the right, wide open once again, and Gibbs finds the end zone after having a few really great big chunk plays. He now has a touchdown to show for it.
Merrillville struggling with finding him on the field, and what you saw there is, again, he was lined up in that H-back position. Your out receiver ran a quick slant, bringing that corner in man coverage following him, and Ellison was able to attack the linebacker and do a nice little slip route. And it's hard for linebackers to cover those very quick athletic backs, too, as well. And they're finding a lot of success tonight, Crown Point Bulldogs are, with Trevor Gibbs.
And after the first PAT was blocked, Crown Point now going for 2. They have Ellison in the backfield with Ehrlich. Motion to the right. Ehrlich keeps it after the fake handoff, and he's going to try to scamper and catch the edge, but he doesn't. And a great tackle there for the Merrillville Pirates, and that's number 6, Warren Brown.
Again, we've been calling his name down near the end zone for the Merrillville Pirates. He's really playing very, very well in some short yardage downs. Obviously, this was the 2-point conversion there, but that is a very big stop. I mean, now they're only up 5 with that. They haven't successfully converted on both their tries here. That's great step up by Merrillville Pirates defense. Again, momentum swings kind of back and forth. I know that's a very big chunk plays they had. They scored a touchdown, but getting those stops on those extra points swings momentum back your way. You go down and drive what we just saw by the Merrillville Pirates. Now you got a 2-point lead. You start chipping away, keep that momentum on your side.
And that one timeout that the Bulldogs have after burning 2 is all the more apparent. You mentioned that earlier, Doug. And so the Pirates, although they trail this one by 5, they are in a very good position now getting the ball in this upcoming kickoff presented by Quintel.
You don't hear down by 5 much.
Yeah.
So it's good. Knowing that, if you go down and score, you're not going to tie the ball game up. You're going to take the lead. That's big.
So Brewer, he sat on the bench and watched his team go for 2 just a moment ago. He's now on the field ready to kick this one off to the Pirates. The last kick was a squib kick. We'll see if he kicks it deep here. He does not. That ball rolls to J.Q. Johnson, who picks it up. J.Q. Johnson, after a couple yards, is met by a bevy of Bulldogs, and they'll set up shop just shy of the 35-yard line.
Great coverage by the Bulldogs there. And to also mention here is, Merrillville scored in 2 minutes, 15 seconds, I think it was. Last time they were very high paced. They were getting on the ball quick. They were getting their play calls in. And obviously we're going to probably see the same kind of tempo here. And I'm excited to see how Crown Point's going to make some adjustments here to try to stop this rushing game. They had a little bit of success when they brought 4 down linemen down, but it looks like they're back out in that 3.
So Merrillville, they have 3 receivers to the right. Once we get the video added to this broadcast, that'll be on the bottom of your screen. They hand off up the middle to Cameron Jordan for a good gain there.
Yeah, and we saw, again, I was just talking about it. They got the 3 down linemen again. How can you make these adjustments to stop the rushing attack here? And that's the thing with the 3 down linemen. You're giving up kind of those B's and C gaps to rushing teams. Their eyes kind of light up when they see that, knowing they can run off to Eckel and Powers.
Yeah, so Crown Point, they're still in that 3-5-3, but we now see they bring 1 guy, now 2 guys up on the line of scrimmage. Again, this 3-5-3, very versatile in terms of the fronts that it gives you, and a great stop there by the Bulldogs.
It was, and it was a great read by their safety, actually. I apologize there. Flying up the field, again, putting that pressure to make him have a jump cut in the hole, able to get his defense to be able to kind of swarm him and gang tackle and get a short game.
So it's 3rd and 1 for the Pirates. Wait, they're signaling first down.
Yeah, I thought he was short too as well, but the spot was a little favorable for the Pirates.
All right, so by the nose of a football, perhaps from the official, it's now first down for the Pirates. Got that early run plays that we see, those 2 men in motion to the right this time to J.Q. Jordan. There's a flag thrown in the backfield.
Yeah, Nico Pavlu on the edge there. Again, you talk about you rely on your defense or your defensive line very heavily in that 3-man front. He was able to keep his outside hand free and able to kind of, shed that block and stop that outside attack. But it looks like, unfortunately, holding on that right tackle.
Yeah, so that's one look that we've seen so far with Merrillville is that they bring that tight end and that I'm not sure what you would call that. It's like an H-back perhaps. Yep. They'll bring those 2 in motion and then they'll rush to that side, but they'll either rush off the tackle there or they'll rush up the middle.
Yep.
And so they've had success with that. Now with the wide receiver in motion here, they give that turbo jet screen there, that handoff, and that, able to get the outside corner, but only for a gain of a couple.
It was, yeah, and again, we got another flag down too as well, but that was that jet sweep kind of to the weak side, or I'm sorry, strong side that you were talking about with that H-back over there, but the Crown Point defense and their pursuit was remarkable on that last play, making him stretch it kind of all the way to the sideline where we had no more room to go.
Yeah, really cutting off that angle. So great angle of pursuit there by the Bulldogs, and they're able to chop down John Peters before he could really catch that sideline and get moving. John Peters, mind you, the player who scored the touchdown for the Merrillville Pirates on a crossing route earlier in this game.
Yeah, and then we had another penalty here. That's going to push them back to about 1st and 26, I believe. So, that's one big thing you're trying to limit, obviously, is you get one penalty, but when you start stacking them up and you get pushed back, it makes it very difficult for your offense.
You cannot compound mistakes against the number 1 team in the region, according to the RSN Top 10, the Crown Point Bulldogs. So it's 1st down and a country mile, or 2nd down and a country mile for the Pirates. Big standoff off the middle, quick wide receiver screen pass, but it is dropped.
And they brought really good pressure, actually, Crown Point did on their right side of the defense with the blitz. Again, you talk about how versatile that 3-5 really is, and you can really shift some athletic linebackers around. Able to put some pressure. Obviously, the ball was on the money. He just dropped it, but I didn't think he was going to get much after that. The Crown Point Bulldog defense does a very good job swarming the ball.
So it is 3rd down for the Pirates, and let's count. What is that? 31 yards. After the penalties, they have 3 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. From the left hash, they throw it, that crossing route to the left, and that one's eaten up right away by the Bulldogs defense.
Yeah, Griffin Van Tilschelt actually on that stop. They ran that crossing route where they had a lot of success, and he actually had a guy open in the middle of the field, but the pressure up the middle from the Crown Point Bulldogs defense, they sent that middle linebacker blitz with Trevor Gibbs in your face. It makes it very, very tough to make the right read, let alone you got to make a very quick read when you're tossing that ball, seeing him coming.
Yeah, I mean, Van Tilschelt, great wrap-up tackle there. In space. I mean, he's a wrestler for this Crown Point team, so that shouldn't surprise anyone. That punt almost mishandled. Instead, it's returned by Tischelt, and he's going to bring this one all the way past midfield and near the 40-yard line of the Merrillville Pirates.
Couple good plays for the kid right there. Obviously, a big stop coming up, reading the pass, and then a nice return to set up your offense on their side of the field, give them great field position. And, again, I'm imagining they're going to be looking for Gibbs here in those slip routes and utilizing him in the pass game, letting him get lost and take obviously end up back in the end zone here. But Crown Point, you may see him pick up the speed a little bit on offense too as well. They got the momentum on their side, and kind of right now they're sniffing a little blood in the water.
Yeah, they certainly got that momentum after 2 big plays by Van Tilschelt. He, is an IHSAA state qualifier in wrestling a year ago, and he's getting it done in the fall right now on the gridiron. Ehrlich fakes the handoff, drops back, steps up, fires across the middle. It's again to Gibbs. Gibbs again breaks 1 tackle. Couldn't break the second one. If he would have found the end zone again.
He sure would have, and I just called it. I said they're probably going to go right back to him, and they sure are. All they're simply doing is putting their H-back one-on-one with their linebackers for the Merrillville Pirates, and right now those linebacking crews having a very tough time being able to find him and where he is coming out of the backfield, let alone being able to guard him. He's a very quick, athletic back coming out, and he is finding the open holes for Noah, making simple, easy throws to him.
Yeah, he's been getting wide open all night so far, and Noah Ehrlich has been able to hit him every single time.
Yeah.
So this Crown Point team has done nothing to beat themselves yet, and there's 15 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and get a final timeout here, perhaps.
Yeah, looks like a Crown Point timeout. All 3 used in the first quarter. I know they got momentum on their side, but that's sometimes can come back and bite you, using all those, not having any for the second quarter or near halftime.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. I may have spoken too soon when I said not beating themselves, but I mean, Coach Bazia knows far more than I do. So I mean, I've seen him make some decisions that I didn't understand, and then go figure it ended up working out in their favor. So, but nonetheless, yeah, this Crown Point Bulldogs offense is humming right now. Trevor Gibbs is having an outstanding game in this one, and that's an early candidate. I mean, there's a couple early candidates for some electrifying plays brought to you by IBEW Local 697 Electrifying Plays. Check out IBEW Local 697 electrifying plays from this week's football action. You can find them when you visit regionsports.com, Facebook/RegionSportsNation, or on Instagram. That's where I find the material and the content. The electrifying plays presented by IBE Local 697, the electrical professionals. A lot of electricity at Demery Stadium here. Ellison tries to take it outside, but great defense there, great coverage. And the Merrillville Pirates get a stop, but there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, just great swarming defense there by Merrillville. Obviously, they're playing actually very well against the run game. It's what they're struggling is the pass game right now. So, Crown Point's obviously wanting to try to find that run game to set up the play actions again we saw on the first drive and continue to keep opening up that pass game. But Merrillville's defense is finding where that ball is at. Larry Ellison kind of getting bottled up by them, and they continue to play very well against the run.
So that ball now spotted at the 19 after the penalty on Crown Point. So it's first down and 9. Ball on the 19, or first and 19 rather. We'll see if a play goes here. It does not. The first quarter draws to an end. The Crown Point Bulldogs lead this one 12-7 after 1 here at Demery Stadium in Merrillville, Indiana. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Tech Checking Plus from Tech Credit Union offers everything you'd expect from a checking account. Plus, you'll earn one of their best dividend rates for maintaining a higher account balance. Currently, 4.85% annual percentage yield. No need to choose between easy access to funds or earning a better dividend. Tech Checking Plus gives you both. Visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call 800-276-8324 to learn more. Tech Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Rates may change without notice.
Welcome back. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. So we now begin the second quarter where the Crown Point Bulldogs lead the Merrillville Pirates on the road 12-7. They have the ball on the 19-yard line, and it is first and goal for the Bulldogs.
Big stop obviously right here for Merrillville on this drive. We saw them very successful in the red zone defense the last time. You need that now. A field goal keeps you in a one-possession game here. So this is very, very big stance here for Merrillville.
Ehrlich looking to his left, trying to direct traffic, throws it to his left. Pass is incomplete, and we get a flag after the incompletion, and another flag in the backfield. So that second one was that potentially roughing the passer, and that first one looked like it happened just beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, possibly eligible man downfield was what I think the first one was with his lineman. And then, yes, the roughing the passer after that, personal foul.
And we'll see as the officials confer,
probably
those penalties will offset.
Yep.
So they will pick up the flags and they will.
They do. It looks like Crown Point was. Yeah, it looked like Crown Point was trying to set up a screen, and then Noah was actually pointing for Larry Ellison to get downfield, not realizing you got linemen trucking down the field too as well. So that was where that first penalty came. It was a good idea, but obviously with the linemen downfield, that's why we saw the flag fly.
All right, so we'll replay first down from the 19-yard line. It's first and goal for the Pirates. Now the second play of the second quarter, Ehrlich's got two receivers to his right. And he rolls right and hands off to Ellison, who goes off the left tackle. Ellison makes a move on a defender and falls inside the 10-yard line.
And that was a great draw play is what they were looking at. It was just great pursuit by the Merrillville Pirate defense.
Again in the hurry up. Ehrlich rolling right, throwing into the end zone, and it's caught there by number 5 for the Crown Point Bulldogs. and that's Lucas Szymborski.
That was a great hurry up by Crown Point, actually. Merrillville was struggling to get settled, trying to get into their defensive positions they needed to, and then they run a play-action pass with 3 crosses. Kind of call it levels is what they're looking for. You got a shallow, a mid, and a deep, and he was able to hit the mid with wide open. Linebackers not in position. Great call right there to hurry up and get lined up on offense there for Crown Point.
So on for the PAT is Oliver Brewer. His first PAT was blocked after the first touchdown. So this is his second attempt. And this one is through the uprights and good. So it is 19-7 after Crown Point scoring on the first drive here in the second quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching the Regis Sports Network, the only game in town.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
Welcome back. You're watching the Regis Sports Network, the only game in town. This is the Quintel Kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. And the score here is 19-7 in favor of the Bulldogs as they look to kick this one deep for the first time in the game, and through the end zone it goes for a touchback.
Yeah, this is a big series right now for the Merrillville Pirates offense. They saw a lot of success in their very first one. They need to have a successful one. They need to get some points on the board. Obviously, a lot of momentum is on the Crown Point Bulldogs side. But, talking about that offense over there in the passing attack, Merrillville's probably down here right now, I can imagine, with their defense of trying to make them adjustments for this passing game and getting their coverages down, because that is the only thing that is going to be able to slow this Crown Point down is on these adjustments for the defense.
So we'll see what adjustments are made. We'll see if Merrillville can march downfield and score another touchdown. They trail this one 19-7. Empty backfield, Bowles to throw. That pass is caught by John Peters. A great catch there in traffic as he went up to grab that one for a Four Seasons first down.
Yeah, again, John Peters, we've been calling his name quite a bit on this passing attack for Merrillville Pirates. And keeping your feet moving, that's key. I mean, the yards after catch, yards after contact, keeping your feet moving, getting another 2-3 yards. Great play by John.
Bowles, quarterback for the Pirates. He's been the only quarterback this game thus far for Merrillville, and that's something to note here in Week 3. Another thing to mention is number 56 again going in motion, so that's usually signifying a handoff, and that's exactly what happens, is that one's handed off to Jordan for a loss.
And we talk about, Lucas Szymborski just scored a touchdown. He made an amazing read right there and was able to break down and make a great tackle, too, as well. So playing both sides of the ball here. The linebacking crew, we can't talk enough about the Crown Point linebacking crew and how they're able to utilize that 3-5, read the gaps, and get downhill quickly and fill gaps and make tackles.
So you mentioned that Lucas Szymborski getting it done on both ends, as this one is snapped to Bowles and handed off again to Cam Jordan, and another tackle for a loss. This Bulldogs defense is getting back there and having fun.
Logan Rodriguez there, the inside linebacker, actually did a little bit of a slide and put him at DN. He was able to crash off that edge. They were trying to find that off-tackle kind of gap power, and unfortunately he just came off the edge and made a very good tackle.
So it's 3rd and long for the Pirates. Ball on the 33. Bowles, Quick pass. It's deflected at the line of scrimmage by none other than Lucas Zimborski. So you talk about Zimborski playing both sides of the ball. He scores a touchdown. He comes in on defense. He has a tackle for a loss, a deflection. There's another guy for Crown Point that we've called his name too that's been doing things in two phases, and that's Griffin Van Tischelt. Do you know what the one thing they have in common is?
What's that?
Big time wrestlers.
Right? Yeah, wrestling
and
football hand in hand.
Yeah, the Crown Point wrestlers getting it done on the gridiron tonight. That punt for the Pirates that trickles out to the 35-yard line. But, yeah, no, we mentioned Griffin Van Tischelt. He's a state qualifier. And Zimborski's a two-time state champ in Tennessee before transferring over here. So, yeah, some big-time Crown Point wrestlers in this one.
And wrestling and football, man, obviously, especially defensively, wise, goes very big hand-in-hand. Going back to that, too, as well, I mean, Merrillville only took off about 1 minute and 26 seconds. They're still going very fast-paced, even though they can't find anything on offense. Sometimes that can get you in trouble with these quick 3-and-outs, getting the ball back over to the offense for Crown Point.
So Ehrlich on offense, and you see that same motion. That was the same motion that they had for the first play of the game, and there was a flag on the play, the first play of the game, and we see another flag. We'll see if it's offsides.
Yeah, offsides there. They got him to jump there on that time, the right side, the end for Merrillville.
So they'll move the ball up a bit. The ball now on the 39-yard line. And Crown Point looking to go to work. Again, we see that motion. We see the Mike linebacker for the Pirates. He makes a signal, and they run it straight up the middle with Ellison. Ellison getting to that second level for a gain of 6.
Yeah, again, right back to that same exact motion. Still running to that power side. Again, though, big credit to the offensive line for Crown Point being able to open up those gaps for Larry Ellison. Obviously, 1st and 5 looks a lot better than 1st and 10, so that penalty really slows down that defensive line, too, as well. They're a little bit more hesitant to fire off, not knowing what snap count's going to be, what motion's coming. It makes it very tough for the defensive line when you see a lot of those.
So we'll see what the Bulldogs do here after the 6-yard rush for a first down. And they hand it off again to Ellison. Ellison pushes a blocker ahead of him, gets to the second level once more.
Again, just simple off tackle. We're going to go hat on hat. We're going to, see who's going to win the trenches. And right now, Crown Point's offensive line is winning the trenches.
Yeah, and if that's one thing that we would have talked, or that we did talk about in the pregame, and that's one of the things I thought would be, is that this game would come down to the trenches. And so we're seeing a little bit of that, but we're also seeing a lot of other things we did not expect. We see Gibbs is having a tremendous game. Wish we would have picked him to be a pick to click in this one, but Crown Point Bulldogs, they're getting it done in a number of ways so far. So they're marching down the field. Another handoff to Ellison for another gain of 5.
Yeah, close to that first down. Again, same shift, just opposite side, right up the gut, kind of power football. And again, I think, when we talk about all seniors for Merrillville Pirates defensive line, Crown Point's all seniors except for one. They have a junior at right guard, Austin Reed, and everyone else is senior. So it's a lot of seniors going up against each other, a lot of experience there.
Yeah, and we talked about the senior-laden offensive line for the Pirates. They're all seniors on senior night here at Merrillville High School at Demery Stadium. So it's 3rd and short. Another handoff to Ellison. He picks up the first down.
Yeah, and Cease a little upset here, and I can understand why. It doesn't look like the receiver for Crown Point was fully set, but no penalty on that shift. But again, simple. They just keep running that same kind of play you're seeing with the shift and moving it to the power side and just chipping away 4 or 5 yards a time.
Yeah, so they're just chugging along here in the second quarter with a 19-7 lead.
Yep, keeping a good pace. They're not going quick. They understand that if they can eat up some clock and drive down and score, they're going to be in a very good position.
Aiden Shields ran onto the field for the Pirates. He's not going to be on this defensive line. We'll see if that makes an impact here. Fake handoff, throw to the left. Again to Gibbs. Gibbs breaks one tackle and falls forward close to the first down marker.
He's been finding himself open quite a bit tonight, and they're struggling with guarding him. And it's coming out of those little slip routes, coming out from that H-back, from the backfield route, that normally is going to put you one-on-one with a linebacker, and that's what we've been seeing all night. Unfortunately, his linebackers just haven't been able to find that coverage against him.
Yeah, and Crown Point, a lot of movement, a lot of motion on that offense that they employ, and they've been finding Gibbs in advantageous positions all night long in this one. Another man in motion, Ehrlich fakes the handoff, steps back to throw across the middle to Gibbs, and that's incomplete. Yeah,
right through his hands. Again, they coming from the back, right? A lot of motion up front. A lot of, the defense has to look to see where they're going. Are we shifting strong side with them? And then you run a play-action pass out of it, too, as well. It's a lot going on for that Merrillville Pirates defense to be looking and monitoring, knowing, hey, do I need to make a shift? Do I need to make a separate call? And unfortunately, that just went right through his hands, though, for Gibbs, because he would have had another big gain right down the middle of the field.
So it's 3rd and short. 3rd and a little bit, about a yard to go exactly. Ehrlich gets this, hands off to Ellison. Ellison off the right tackle, jukes inside, spin move, and falls forward for another Four Seasons first down.
Great job by the offensive lineman, really sealing that edge for him to hit off tackle. Nice jump cut that he went back kind of across the grain into the defense, but he was able to get about 6-7 yards again. It's just really that power of football what you're seeing right now from Crown Point.
So Crown Point, they are now on the 25-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 with 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. We remind you to stay tuned for our Hose Connections halftime show. Hose, it's proud to connect the first and the second half of tonight's game. Another handoff to Ellison. Ellison makes that again, that juke inside, and again for an extra few yards, so he brings that one all the way down to the 10-yard line.
And it looks like we got a penalty on there, but they went right back to that off tackle. And, I don't blame them. Obviously, when you got a 6'5", 295 senior with Nolan Cicero at your right tackle, I'd probably be following him all night as well.
So we'll see penalty there. And it looks like it's going to be on the defense. A face mask. So it's a 5-yard penalty. So it's now ball on the 5-yard line, 1st and goal.
I think Crown Point may come here with a play action that they've had a lot of success in the red zone here.
Yeah, they scored on it in the last drive, that play action pass to Zimborski. They also have had success with the play action to Gibbs for a touchdown. So Ehrlich keeps it himself, finds the edge for another Crown Point Bulldogs touchdown.
Yeah, and they actually went back to that read option where they had a lot of success too as well in a couple drives ago. Very aggressive defensive line that we've talked about. They were able to read that, and he was able to hit kind of that off-tackle gap and stretch it all the way out to the sideline and cross the goal line.
So as it stands currently, it's 25-7 in favor of the Bulldogs. They've now scored 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. On for the PAT is Brewer. And with 5 minutes and 46 seconds to go, the score is now 26-7. So stay with us. You're watching Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists. Communicate with the world.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Welcome back. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town, as that kickoff sails into the end zone and through the back for a touchback. So that is a Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated.
This is big for Merrillville. They kicked off to start the game. You need to go down and you got to get some points on the board. Probably eat some clock. I don't know if they're going to go fast-paced. They may. But you got to go down and get some points now, knowing you're going to get the ball back at half. Whereas if you can get a couple touchdowns, you're right back in this game. But it's going to start with this drive right now.
Huge drive here for the Pirates. Bowles. Play action. Across the middle. Caught. And bring in a few Bulldogs with him for a 4 seasons first down. And that's number 82, Ryan L. Lewis.
Yeah, just man coverage he had on the outside, one-on-one. He hit a nice little 10-yard post route and put the ball up and let his guy go and get it. And if you got some man-on-man coverage here, especially with the quickness and the athletes that you got on the edge, I think you may see a little bit more coming from the Pirates with that.
Bowles looking to the sideline for the signal. He's got 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, and he's got Cameron Jordan next to him in the backfield. After the 4 seasons first down, the ball's on the 38-yard line. They hand it up inside to Cameron Jordan. Cameron Jordan patient, finding a block, bouncing to the right side for a gain of a couple.
After that first drive where Merrillville had a lot of success running the ball, the Crown Point Bulldogs definitely have dialed that back in, and we haven't seen much success with their run game right now. I think, if you're Merrillville Pirates, you got to switch this up a little bit, maybe throw a little play action in there, but you're getting a lot of man coverage on the outside. I would take a little bit more shots with your guys over there.
Cameron Jordan runs off the field, and replacing him is J.Q. Johnson, the 1-2 punch at running back for the Pirates. Again, 3 receivers to Bowles' left and 1 to his right. Johnson out in the flat, catches it, and a great tackle there for the Crown Point Bulldogs, and that's number 41, Vico Paviu.
Yeah, I mean, what a great read by Pavlu there, able to realize that back was coming out of the backfield on the swing route there, able to shed his block, come up and make a very big tackle for a loss of yards.
Nico Pavlu, great tackle in the backfield. So it's now 3rd and long for the Pirates. Cameron Jordan back in the game for Merrillville. Got 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Bowles mishandles the snap, and he gets sacked behind the line of scrimmage there for the Crown Point Bulldogs.
Lucas Imborski again, we just talked about, we've been talking about him quite a bit on both sides of the ball. Obviously, we had a fumble snap, but he was able to react, and get up and make sure, again, the loss of yardage. They went back, after that very first play where they had 12, 13 yards on one-on-one coverage. We saw them really go back to the run game there, not having much success. And again, Crown Point's going to get off the field very, very quickly.
Yeah, so a great stand there by the Bulldogs. This punt is away, no one to return it once again, and this one's going to trickle to the 31-yard line.
Plenty of time left here for Crown Point, obviously, in this half. This is one of those drives where they go down and score. I know it's still early and going into half, but you go up, 33-7 heading into half, you're looking pretty good. They're looking to score here quick, and they probably want to eat up all the time at the same time.
Yeah, Cole Emanuelson, the huge play for the Bulldogs. The Pirates punt to them, and so now Crown Point, they'll get it started once again at the 31. We have Ehrlich and Ellison in the backfield. Wide receiver in motion, looking to his right, throwing to his left, incomplete. And another flag on the play.
Yeah. It's an illegal man downfield there. Not sure where that call come from. It was almost like a screen pass of what they were looking there, but maybe it was receiver was just a little bit past the line of scrimmage when that ball was thrown.
So Crown Point.
I think that's what Coach Buzz is arguing right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's having words with it, with the officials out there. So now he'll have an opportunity to talk to him one-on-one.
Maybe penalty was declined or waived off.
The ball remains on the 31-yard line. It looks like it's second down. So lost the down there. 3 receivers to Ehrlich's right, none to his left. Ellison in the backfield, handoff to Ellison, straight up the middle, getting to that second level again, bouncing outside, lowering his shoulder, and he just steps out of bounds. If he didn't, he would have gone all the way.
Yeah, he sure would have. And again, you had trips down here towards the Merrillville Pirates sideline, which is your defense now is shifting to the strong side, and they hit that weak side off tackle, and Larry Ellison just able to find the gap and take it down the field. That run game is really starting to come along for the Crown Point Bulldogs.
So that's one thing that we paid attention to or recognized in the beginning of this game is how successful Crown Point was in passing the ball. And this one, it seems like the pass has now kind of set up the run.
Yeah.
And so
Sure
Crown Point is clicking, and they are clicking on all cylinders, up 26-7 here. Ball at midfield. Ehrlich pump fakes. Man downfield. It's Lucas Szymborski to the 5. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
And obviously Noah took a hit there. The reason why he took a hit was because it was a comeback and go. It was a nice pump fake. The cornerback really bit on that pump, on that comeback route, and he planted his foot, and he took off down the field, and Noah was able to make a dime pass while taking a hit, too, as well. It really shows how skilled Noah Ehrlich is and able to still have that arm strength to get the ball off while getting hit.
The Crown Point Bulldogs, they've exploded here in the second quarter. Another touchdown. That's their third one in the second quarter. On for the PAT. Brewer looking to make this one a 33-7 ball game. And he does. So it's 33-7 at Demery Stadium here in Merrillville. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For over 100 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony. From a simple to elaborate, to traditional or unique, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. And for your other loved ones, Burns Funeral now has a pet cemetery and crematory. Visit burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 219-942-1117.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Welcome back. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. This kickoff presented by Quintel, like all kickoffs here on the Region Sports Network. We're at Demery Stadium. Crown Point Bulldogs putting up a crooked number here in the second quarter. And Brewer looks to kick off to the Pirates. And they're going to kick it off deep once again. They started this game with the squib kick, so they're kicking it deep now. And another touchback, and the Pirates will set up shop 80 yards away from Paydirt.
And that's a sophomore kicker that just kicked it, and it landed out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, he's booming it.
He is. He's got a leg on him, and that's Oliver Brewer there. And, wow. That's a nice kick, and he's only a sophomore. So Crown Point's got him for a few more years. And trust me, I talked about it earlier when we said special teams. Mm-hmm. When you can have special teams, when you can have a kicker, especially someone like that with a leg, it's a very positive thing to have.
The Pirates looking for positivity on this drive, handing off to Jordan. Jordan through the middle for a gain of a few.
Yeah, simple dive play there. Great read by Trevor Gibbs. Able to plug up the middle. Nice tackle.
Yeah, Merrillville's senior offensive line, all 5 of them are seniors, doing a good job for the most part in the running game. Is they're driving their blocks and allowing their running backs, J.Q. Johnson and Cameron Jordan, to usually get to that second level. But As of late, the Crown Point Bulldogs have seemed to have found an answer for this rushing attack of the Merrillville Pirates.
They do, and they got man coverage down here. I'm surprised we haven't seen more shots with those man, one-on-one.
This handoff now to Johnson off the left tackle. Gets to the second level once again for a gain and another Four Seasons first down.
Nice off tackle there for Merrillville. Plant your foot and kind of go. Cut it up right underneath that tight end you got. Or tackle, I'm sorry. And, again, they've had some success. They want to find that success with running the ball. But I also think they're going to take some shots down the field here with only a minute and a half left.
They have 4 wide receivers out there. Bowles steps back to pass, fires across the middle. That's intercepted. Intercepted by Gibbs. Bringing it back to the 20, to 10, to 5, and a hit stick there inside the 5-yard line. That's going to give the Crown Point Bulldogs the ball at the 2-yard line.
And just great play by Trevor Gibbs there. Again, we're talking about both way players for the Crown Point Bulldog. He's another one. Obviously, they had man coverage, but the linebackers are dropping into that zone. They're sitting right in that pocket, taking away those slants in the post. That's exactly what he did. And he had a strong return there, setting up what I would say is going to be another Crown Point touchdown probably going to see.
Yeah, so Trevor Gibbs, outstanding in this one. I mean, he started this game off absolutely on fire. Speaking of piping hot, for piping hot pizza delivered right to your door, you can call Squeegee's Pizza of Griffith. They are located at 106 South Broad Street in Griffith. Give them a call at 219-924-6000. Pickup or delivery, it's Squeegee's Pizza of Griffith, the best on Broad. So we'll see after the rush there. And that is another Crown Point Bulldogs touchdown. You just called it, Doug. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I was calling turnover is what I thought. I thought it was going to be able to kick off, but obviously that was a great, interception there for Trevor Gibbs setting them up. But again, just simple dive play with Larry Ellison. Hat on hat, trenches, who's going to win it? And Crown Point came on the top right there with this nice short little 3-yard touchdown.
So after the Ellison touchdown, Brewer looking to convert the PAT. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it's blocked again. So that's the second time it's been blocked. So it's 39-7 with 67 seconds remaining in the first half. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of Notre Dame Athletics, wants to reward you for everyday banking. CU1's high-yield checking offers the opportunity to earn up to 5.25% APY when you make qualifying transactions each month. No monthly fees and no minimum or opening balance required. Plus, you'll be able to bank anytime and anywhere with 24/7 digital and mobile banking. Start making more of your money with Credit Union One. Open an account at cu1.com/high-yield checking.
We love home internet from T-Mobile. Now Mesh boosts Wi-Fi all over your home. Taking a class in your attic, that dead spot is gone. Stream ballet in your man cave, learn to paint on your lawn.
It's glorious.
And now on the road you can take T-Mobile Wi-Fi with you. Hey, stay connected and watch what you'll do.
Welcome back. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. This is a Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, specializing in the reconditioning, repairing, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Talking about exchanging some heat. I mean, at one point in this game, it looked like Merrillville had some momentum, and that is absolutely been flipped, a complete 180 as Crown Point Bulldogs have just been clicking on all cylinders, absolutely on fire in this one. And again, another kickoff through the back of the end zone.
They are, and again, Merrillville Pirates defense is struggling, right? Crown Point's throwing a lot of things at them. The play action pass, the run, the stop and goes kind of out there, and that's going to be some very big adjustments they're going to have to try to make at halftime here of how do you slow this offense down.
Yeah, and talking about slowing down the offense when the Pirates are on defense, the Pirates here now on offense, and they start this one at the 20, Bulls hand off to Jordan. He's met in the backfield, but he breaks the tackle. He tries to bounce it all the way outside once again, but he's met by a couple of Bulldogs in the backfield there.
Yeah, Josh Miller there, the DN for Crown Point, was really able to disrupt it right from the rip. He was able to make a break tackle, but then it was led by, Crown Point was able to kind of make that pursuit and swarm the ball. And again, another play for Merrillville Pirates where they've gone backwards with negative yards.
Yeah, Josh Miller, another tackle for a loss. And this season, Josh Miller is leading tackler on this Crown Point Bulldogs defense. And there are 30 seconds away from the end of the first half. And we have 3 receivers to Bulls' right, 1 to his left, and J.Q. Johnson in the backfield. Clock ticking now at 20 seconds. Inside handoff to J.Q. Johnson. And another great play there by Gibbs. He had the interception that he almost took all the way to the house, and he just gets in the backfield and stops J.Q. Johnson like a brick wall.
Yes, he did. I mean, he is a very solid middle linebacker. Obviously, he's filling the shoes last year of Will Clark, but you couldn't ask for a better middle linebacker play to fill those shoes. He's been having a night tonight, both offense and defensively.
So the clock will hit 0, and that's the end of the first half. Stay tuned for connecting the first and half and the second half of tonight's game. It's the Host Connections halftime report presented by Host Connections, proven under pressure. Stay tuned, and you'll see just that. You're watching the Reach Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
This box is small, like Pet Supplies Plus. This one is large, like a big box store. In each, stew, and a toy. Question is, which dog will find it first? Ta-da! Moose, no! You were so close.
Discover excellence at Moeller Acura of Merrillville. Whether you're seeking the thrill of a new Acura or the reliability of a certified pre-owned, we have the perfect vehicle waiting for you. At Moeller Acura, our knowledgeable team is here to provide you with the first-class experience, from your first test drive to every service appointment. Experience luxury, performance, and unparalleled service at Moeller Acura of Merrillville, where your journey begins. Visit us today or explore our inventory online at MoellerAcuraofMerrillville.com.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me me to the Crowell Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowell Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Tech Checking Plus from Tech Credit Union offers everything you'd expect from a checking account. Plus, you'll earn one of their best dividend rates for maintaining a higher account balance. Currently, 4.85% annual percentage yield. No need to choose between easy access to funds or earning a better dividend. Tech Checking Plus gives you both. Visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call 800-276-8324 to learn more. Tech Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Rates may change without notice.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
Welcome back. You're watching Game Night in the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Here with you, the Hose Connections halftime report, brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. Visit them on the web at hoseconnectionsinc.com. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. And then insert that Michael Bradner he loves to sing that. He loves to do that. Doon, 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 doon,
Oh, yeah.
So, yep. So, Michael Bradner, if you're listening, you have an effect on all of us. Let's just say that. So, yeah, it's halftime Hose Connections, the halftime report here. Doug, this one, look, it's 39-7 at half. What are your initial thoughts on this one? And I'll tell you kind of what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, of course. Right now is Merrillville Pirates defense is obviously struggling on that side of the ball. They are Crown Point's throwing a lot of things at them, a lot of motions, a lot of resets, a lot of shifting on their offensive series, and it's given Merrillville a lot to think of. And Trevor Gibbs has been very big in the passing game, slipping out of the H-back position in the backfield, and the linebackers have been having a very tough time covering him coming out of the backfield. But Crown Point was able to get Larry Ellison in that run game going. So when you started setting up that play-action pass, it makes it very, very tough for a defense. You know, you're stepping up, trying to stop Larry Ellison. Next thing you know, play-action balls over your head. So Merrillville Pirates defense is obviously still trying to figure some things out, trying to find their identity, you know, and Crown Point it already has a full playbook in, right? A lot of these kids have returned this year. It's a very seasoned group, and when you can have a full open playbook in week 3, it's tough to defend.
Yeah, and, you know, that's kind of getting to where I was thinking. My thoughts on this one are this. It's so unfortunate this is being played week 3. I would love to see these teams play towards the end of the season because, let's be honest, Merrillville, they're still trying to figure things out. A week ago, we saw 2 quarterbacks playing, right? And, yes, Bulls is, you know, taking all the snaps under center in this one, but they're still trying to figure things out, like you mentioned. And the play sheet from this first half, in 5 weeks, they're going to look at it and they're going to be like, there are so many things that we're not calling these days because that's not us, right? They figured things out. They found other things that work for them. And so to have to play against arguably the number 1 team in the entire state at week 3 when, you know, you're trying to figure things out, it's unfortunate, but it is one of those things where this is what it's like every year, it seems like, right? I mean, last year they played them week 3 and, you know, they took a beating on the road and now they're taking one at home.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would love to see this game, you know, week 7, week 8, later in the season. Obviously, you know, you have J.Q. Johnson and Cameron Jordan, the 1-2 punch. J.Q. Johnson last week leaving on an ankle injury. Is he fully up to speed too as well? You're figuring out that 1-2 punch as you talked about too as well with Jordan Sanders and Darnell Bowles, right? The quarterback situation. Who is going to kind of step up, take that lead role? They're trying to figure that out too as well. So, yes, offense has been struggling. We saw some great success on that very first drive. John Peters' name we've been calling a lot for the Merrillville Pirate offense. He scored a 28-yard TD reception in the first quarter, and kind of after that it kind of fizzled down. And you could see that Merrillville is still trying to find that run game, right? They're really all about the run. They want that run game to work. That opens up the passing game for them, and we keep seeing them go at it. Crown Point's playing very well against the run. And I think some of those adjustments you may see are maybe we take a little bit more of those one-on-one shots. But again, right, these are the adjustments. These are the things that Merrillville is trying to figure out here in week 3 with a younger group, I should say, at running back and quarterback, some seasoned linemen and things like that, linebackers, defensive linemen. But, yeah, you are exactly right, Mike, on that is they're still trying to figure out a lot of things in the identity of their team. Playing a very good team week 3 is very challenging.
Yeah, and again, I mean, that's to no discredit of Crown Point whatsoever. I mean, it's not that I'm not saying that if they were to play and I know you're not insinuating this, but for the people listening at home, I'm not insinuating that, you know, we would have an entirely different score if it were being played in week 7 or 8. But I will say this, I mean, it would be giving these Pirates, you know, an opportunity to showcase who they are.
Yes, absolutely.
Because right now they don't necessarily know who they are. They're a very, very good team. They're very, very talented. They're very well coached. You know, Josh Wissing is doing a great job at calling plays as best as he can in this one. You know, Coach Cease has got this program at a level where these are some of the best Merrillville teams I've seen in my lifetime. But at the same time, though, this Crown Point team are also all of those things, right? And except with the exception that they are solidified at every position. They are. And Merrillville's currently not. So that's kind of where we see ourselves in this one. But, I mean, there's a lot to learn from the tape in this one. That's for certain. One guy that has just been absolutely a one-man wrecking crew, and it's Trevor Gibbs. And, you know, just to watch his highlights, you're going to glean some things on tape. Am I right, Doug?
Oh, you are absolutely right. And obviously, you know, along with Trevor, I mean, he's been a highlight reel kind of all night tonight in the passing game and on defense. And you can't discredit him, too, either. It's being the H block, you're blocking a lot. So when we talk about Larry Ellison getting the game, run game going, he's also a very big part in that, too, as well with blocking. So when you have someone that's special like that, a playmaker on both sides of the ball, it sets you up pretty nicely. And as you talked about, though, they're solidified in many other positions. You talk about Larry Ellison, Noah Ehrlich, Lucas Imborski. Lucas 2 touchdowns so far in the half. in the first half. Larry Ellison, 2 touchdowns. Noah's got a rush, 3 tosses. I mean, there's a lot of playmakers in a lot of key positions for Crown Point that have been playing it for many years. And that's why you can see Crown Point's off to a very fast start in this season, let alone the game. And it's because of a lot of experience they have in those key positions.
Yeah, it's experience, and it's also coaching. Coach Craig Bazia, he is an absolute genius when it comes to football, X's and O's. And it's not even just the X's and O's. It's obviously about the guys that you have on your roster, too. They're incredibly talented. But when I watch Crown Point, a couple things stand out to me. One is what a sophisticated offense they run today.
Absolutely.
And how that was not the case when we were in school and when we were there at their age. You know, that it's not what it was by any means. But at the same time, not only do I notice that as being a huge difference in the game from then till now, but at the same time, a huge similarity is that these Bazia teams, they block well. They are efficient on 3rd and 4th down. They catch the ball. They are very fundamental. And those things withstand the test of time. And so you look back all the way to when we were in high school, and even farther back in the annals of DAC football history, and teams were always blocking and tackling.
Yes.
You know, and these Craig Bazia teams, they do all of those timeless tenets of the game very well. And now they're also running a modern, sophisticated offense. This team is the real deal.
Yes, no, they really are. And when you talk about fundamentals and when you're that solid fundamentally and then you add some talent in some key positions, that's when you can start exploring these modern offenses, the shifts that we see, the stop and goes, right? The read options that you see. It's when it all starts with fundamentals like that. They run very crisp routes. They tackle very well. They play gap-controlled football on the defensive side. It all starts with fundamentals like you're talking about. And when you look at the Crown Point team, you can't pick out a guy that says, hey, he's still got to work on fundamentals. They are all very sound fundamentally. And when you have that mixed with talent, that's when you start branching off and you can see this modern style kind of football that we see a lot now.
Yeah, no, it's an incredible job that Craig Bazia, what he's done with this program. And, you know, you also look at Merrillville and what Coach Cease has done with this program, too. And we look at the score, and it's 39-7, but still, these are both 2 very, very, very good teams.
They are very, very, very good teams. And, 39-7 right now is not going to be the same Merrillville Pirate team we're going to see towards the end of the season, making a playoff run. It's great film for them, as you talked about. Great adjustments, great trying to find that identity for them. But, yeah, these are still 2 very good football teams. It's just, as we keep talking about and keep saying, Crown Point has some very key players that have been playing in those spots for some years. They're very seasoned. They're able to hit the ground running much quicker than this Merrillville Pirates team has to begin the season.
Yeah, and that they have. They hit the ground running from the start, and they haven't gotten off the gas pedal the whole game. That second quarter was, just a clinic on both sides of the ball. And so here we are in the Hose halftime connection, the halftime report here, brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. Visit them on the web at hoseconnectionsinc.com. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. And so Pirates, do you look at this second half as like you have a bunch of pressure that you need to come back, or because the deficit is so large, you can play free and without pressure and just go out there and let it rip?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is. They're going to make some adjustments offensively and defensively, but you are going to be a little bit more loose, knowing you've already played that first half and where you currently stand. I think, again, this is where Coach Cease is going to look for some of those players to step up. Who's going to take these roles? Who's going to kind of take charge and become that leader? And that's what you're going to want to see in this second half, all while still maintaining and trying to come back into the ball game. But he also wants to see his personnel and his players of who's going to step up in those key positions for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, is that you're going to see who steps up, who's going to show some mettle in this second half, down a big number. For you folks that are tuning in and listening, this is an audio-only broadcast, but we will add video to it at a later date. So we cannot provide a live video broadcast here at Merrillville. So it is audio only. We'll add the video afterwards. But just to kind of give you a sense of what we're seeing on the field, we're seeing both kickers warming up for this second half. We see Brewer for the Bulldogs. He's practicing some field goal attempts. And then also for Merrillville, we see the kicker for them, and that's Benito Gonzalez. And Benito Gonzalez is working on some kickoffs. So also make sure to stay with Region Sports after the game as we send it back to the Sentier Bank studio, so you can catch up on the latest scores, highlights, and more, all live from the Sentier Bank studio right after the game. And if you are one of those big football fanatics, as I'm sure many of you are who are listening to the halftime show of a 39-7 ball game, you can check out the Strachanville scoreboard. So follow all of tonight's region football scores live on the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard, streaming on youtube.com/Region Sports, facebook.com/Region Sports, and regionsports.com. Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. So I believe Daryl Skabinski is working the scoreboard this weekend, and if he's not working the scoreboard this weekend, then the scoreboard's probably not working. So Daryl Skabinski is the man when it comes to that. That's our boy. So yeah, Doug and I, we were doing the studio show week 1. We got to hang out with Skibbs.
Yes, we are. And yeah, he is a master at that Strachan Van Til scoreboard, man. The way he pulls and getting all his info from everywhere and staying on top of it. It's nice sometimes being in the studio, though, and you always be like, hey, Skibbs, what's the score of this game? And he's got it, right? He's able to ramble it right off.
Yeah, Skibbs, he's locked in. So, Skibbs, if you're listening, you're our boy. Appreciate it. And so, yeah, and to everyone here at the Region Sports Network, appreciate all of you. Yeah, we got the Sentier Bank studio show. Yeah, a lot going on. And also, stay tuned for the Edinburgh Home Improvement Top 10, and we'll see if there's any movement in the top 10 this week. You can visit regionsports.com, Facebook/Region Sports Nation, Instagram, and Region Sports Network, YouTube, for this week's Home Improvement Top 10 presented by Ennigenberg Exteriors. Ennigenberg Exteriors. For all your home's exterior needs, visit ebergexteriors.com. So we are a couple minutes away from the second half kickoff here at Demery Stadium in Merrillville, Indiana.
And
yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll take a break here shortly. When we come back, you'll catch second half action here at Demery Stadium in Merrillville, Indiana. So that was the Host Connections halftime report, brought to you by Host Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For over 100 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony. From a simple to elaborate to traditional or unique, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. And for your other loved ones, Burns Funeral now has a pet cemetery and crematory. Visit burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 219-942-1117.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Welcome back. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. I'm Mike Jamia. Alongside me, Doug Ashenbaugh. We got Zach Sinelli producing and Scott Stessel on the camera. Doug, we're ready for a second half. What are your thoughts going into this one?
Big thing is obviously Coach Cease going in the locker room and not coming out flat. He's letting his boys know, he's letting his teams know, like, hey, we still got to fight. We still got a second half left here. We're going to get the ball that half. Let's show some momentum. Let's show some movement. Let's start settling in and relax, and let's go and put one in the end zone. So obviously, he's going to have some adjustments both offensively, defensively. I think he's going to maybe make some adjustments, or he did at halftime. Is my guess is that he's going to take a little bit more of those one-on-one man coverage shots, maybe deeper down the field too as well, and see if he has any success there. Because right now the running game is struggling a little bit. You don't want to shy away completely, but I think you're going to see a little bit more of those one-on-ones being taken by the Merrillville Pirates.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to get those one-on-ones and capitalize and make the most of them. It is a uphill battle. For those of you listening, it is an audio-only broadcast. We'll add the video to it afterwards. We are not allowed to provide a live video broadcast here at Merrillville, so they'll hold on the kickoff due to the wind, and that one is boomed to the eye and Pirates in the end zone. So Merrillville, once again, they're going to start their drive 80 yards away from the goal line.
Yeah, this is big. Like I was just talking about, you want to come out, you want to have some positive movement. You don't want to have these negative plays, a lot of negative plays for Merrillville in the first half. You want to shy away from those. You go 1st and 10, and all of a sudden it's 2nd and 13, and 2nd and 14. You kind of put your back against the walls right off the rip. So positive movement on first down, continue to drive down the field.
So we'll see a new quarterback for the Pirates in this one, and that is number 17, Jordan Sanders. So Sanders looking to start the second half. Throws a nice out route there to Rynell Lewis for a Four Seasons first down.
And there was that one-on-one kind of takes that I was just looking at. And, maybe this is where some Jordan Sanders was maybe a little bit, I don't want to say better, but maybe he's a little bit more comfortable throwing those one-on-one kind of shots. And right off the rip, that's exactly what we saw.
Yeah, and it's important to note that the first couple weeks in the season, we saw Merrillville employ 2 quarterbacks. That was especially evident last week against Hobart. The first half was all started by and played every snap under center by Darnell Bowles. Now Jordan Sanders, he takes the first 2 snaps of the second half. That throw to his right in the slot is incomplete to Peters. It goes right through his hands, and Peters is down holding his left bicep. Or no, that's Lamont Bogard. My fault. My apologies. So Dermont Bogard, he's still down. Athletic trainers tending to him. He's kicking his feet, and he
looks like he's in some pain there.
Absolutely.
It was a good ball, but I think he had to go up a little bit forward. He may have landed real hard on possibly his shoulder, but yeah, he did land pretty hard.
Bogard, he's being helped up onto his 2 feet. And
see him walk and jog off there. Yeah, it looks like maybe he's grabbing his shoulder arm right there. So maybe it was just a little stinger he got. He did go up pretty high for that ball and come down pretty hard.
Yep, so Bogard heads to the bench, and he's frustrated too. For those of you listening, you aren't able to see, obviously, but here at Demery Stadium, it is a football stadium, meaning there is no track around the field, and so we have a really good look at Bogard on the sideline as he walked off, and he's frustrated with himself. He wants to be healthy. He wants to be on that field, and now it's 2nd and 10. Sanders gets the snap, hands it off to J.Q. Johnson. J.Q. Johnson is met at the line of scrimmage by the Crown Point Bulldogs.
Yeah, Trevor Gibbs again. I guess we can't say his name enough, but playing that middle linebacker position, you got to be quick, you got to be strong, you got to be able to plug up those middle gaps, and he's doing a tremendous job tonight with that.
Met there by Trevor Gibbs and Lucas Zamborski, both standouts in this game tonight for the Crown Point Bulldogs. So it's 3rd and 10, ball spotted at the 34-yard line of the Pirates as they look to start this opening drive, and they're already looking at a 3rd down here.
Yeah,
a huge conversion would keep this drive alive and hopefully give them something to work with. Sanders drops back to pass, looks to his right, throws it to Cameron Jordan. That ball thrown just in front of him. Cameron Jordan had to make a business decision there, because if he would have really went for that catch, he would have gotten cleaned up.
Yes, yeah, he was tracking that down pretty well on that. So I guess I don't blame him so much of not pulling that one in. That would have been a tough catch regardless with how quick Crown Point was on that.
Yeah, Logan Rodriguez, the senior linebacker, standing in at a stout 5'11", 200 pounds. He was right there meeting the pass.
And we saw a slower pace by Merrillville, too, as well. Now that, Jordan Sanders is in, maybe it's a little bit slower pace offense.
And Crown Point has not had a punt returner out there this game, and so they're just allowing Merrillville to punt it and then down it themselves. So they'll get the ball at the 35, 36-yard line to start their drive.
This is big for obviously Crown Point. You go down and score. You get into the running clock situation. My guess the starters are still going to be in to try and get after that, obviously, and then allow, you go down and score and you get into a running clock situation. That's when you kind of see the younger cats come into the game.
Yeah, and Merrillville is going to do everything they can to put together a good defensive stop and, make the most of this opportunity of playing the Bulldogs here at home. So, again, man in motion, handoff to Ellison to the left side. He gets to the tackle. He busts it out to the outside, gets a block, brings it all the way to the 30-yard line. So, Ellison, huge play waiting to happen, and another one there.
He does, and it shows his speed there. They actually had the Trevor Gibbs, the H-back, onto their right side, so Merrillville shifting towards kind of the strong side, hitting that weak side off tackle, and Larry Ellison, tremendous job as we've seen week in and week out, being able to hit small gaps and take it for big yardage.
The senior running back having a tremendous game in this one. It was kind of a bit of a slow start at the running game for Crown Point, but that has quickly changed. Another rush by Ellison for another chunk gain.
Yeah, and I know we've seen some big plays by Larry Ellison there, but he has been able to get 5-6 yards, it seems like, almost every time they turn around and hand him the ball.
So after the gain of 5 there by Ellison, back-to-back rushes, and they've went from having the ball on their own 35-yard line to being within the 35-yard line of the Pirates, spotted at the 33. 2nd and 5. They're in the huddle. They break, and what we find is Oscar Biasi, the wide receiver to the right, but another handoff to Ellison, who takes it to the left side, lowers the shoulder, and gets out of bounds, but there's a flag on the play.
Looks like possibly holding over there on the left tackle for Crown Point.
That's exactly what it is, so that'll back them up.
And that's hard for a left tackle there. The play's supposed to go inside kind of the power gap there, and then your running back bounces it out while you're blocking a guy out. It makes it very difficult for the left tackle to be able to move his feet and try to get back, and that's when you see a lot of holding penalties called.
So this one goes to the 42-yard line. It's backed up, so it is 2nd and 15 now with 9 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the third frame. If you're just joining us, it is an audio-only broadcast. We will add video to it later. We cannot provide a live video broadcast here at Merrillville, so we are giving you everything we can. Snap to Ehrlich, quick pass to the left, spin move by Ellison, but still a great job there by the Pirates defense, swarming to the ball and stopping him at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they were able to identify. They had quads over there, but all receivers were on the line of scrimmage. So at that point in time, only the outside guy is going to be eligible. They were able to sniff out that screen pass knowing it was coming, and they were able to swarm and make a nice stop in the backfield.
So it's 3rd and long, 14 yards to be exact. Yassi, the receiver, wide to Ehrlich's right on 3rd and long. Fakes the handoff to Ellison, rolls right, looks. Again, it's that levels you were talking about, and again, that pass was intended for Gibbs, but incomplete.
Yeah, and that was just right outside of his hands. Again, Gibbs coming across the field. One-on-one with linebackers, that's tough to cover. He's got a lot of speed, and just right outside of his hands. If not, Noah brings that in just a little bit more. He's stretching him for another big gain.
So they are going to go for it on 4th down. So it's 4 Seasons, 4-down territory. But it's that snap to the Ehrlich, and Ehrlich punts it, and it is downed. Oh, it's not. It's for a touchback. So for those of you listening, it was a snap to Ehrlich, who's the quarterback, and on fourth down, he punted it himself and trying to down it at the 1 yard line or at the goal line, but instead they accidentally stepped out of bounds and they weren't able to pull it off.
Yeah.
And so it goes back for a touchback.
That was a great play by Caden Smith, though, running down there. He actually leaped into the end zone to hit the ball back. Unfortunately, though, like you said, the ball was just across the goal line after it took a hop and turned into a touchback. But remarkable job by Caden Smith flying down there.
So the Pirates get it at the 20-yard line. Sanders. Quick pass to Martin, and he's gobbled up right away by number 29, and that's Andy Parent.
Yeah, great swarm in there. Quick little route right there for Merrillville to try to get the ball into your hands real quick for their athletes, try to open field, make a play, but Crown Point did a great job. 3 or 4 of them swarming to the ball.
Yeah, Parent, the senior cornerback for the Bulldogs. And that was a quick pass to the left, and just as quickly as that ball got to Martin, Parent was there to meet him. So it is 2nd and 10. Hand off inside to Cameron Jordan. And in the backfield, again, for the Bulldogs is Logan Rodriguez, the senior linebacker.
Yeah, they've been swarming up that run game all night. Merrillville has not been able to find that much success. We have had a couple plays where they were able to break off here and there, but overall, Crown Point's defense against the run game is looking very good.
So it's 3rd and long after the tackle for a loss by Rodriguez. 3rd and 12 from the Pirates, 18-yard line. They have 5 receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left, and an empty backfield set for Jordan Sanders. He gets the snap a bit high, steps up, and he's sacked there by number 34 of the Crown Point Bulldogs, and that's Alex Williams.
Yeah, great play. Obviously, we got 5 wide receivers set. You ain't got no one back there helping you, and they sent the blitz, and they were able to get pressure as Jordan Sanders was stepping up in the pocket and make a nice big sack.
So we have a player down on the field. Let me get the binoculars out here and see if I can identify who it is for the Pirates. And so we have the athletic training staff there tending to the player. If I had to take a guess, because I cannot see a jersey number, I would guess that it would be the... Oh, no. Okay, so I thought that it looks like a 56.
Yep. He's hopping up right now. Still can't see a number, but it is good to see him back on his feet and walking off.
Yeah, I believe that's Jamal Cherry, the tight end. And I believe I recognize that because of the white wristband on the left. Or is that... I could be wrong. Okay, so that's 5-0. So then that's the center, Sean Hicks, the senior, but he walks out onto the sideline with his own 2 feet, and so he's seemingly okay. So Merrillville punts this one again. This one stops on a dime and rolls backwards, but down at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, and we didn't mention this, but that was the first time we saw Crown Point punt all night, their last series. That was the first punt we've seen from them.
I think, really?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
That was the first time we seen him actually punt because they went for it on 4th down.
Okay.
Obviously got a touchdown too as well down there. They didn't go for a field goal, and that's the first time we've seen them punt. So, obviously positives when you're talking about that with Merrillville Pirates defense. Obviously starters are still out for Crown Point. That's a big step when we talked about Cease wanting to see some step up and have some positive plays out there.
So Noah Ehrlich. Hand off to Ellison inside. Ellison off the right guard. And we see a flag thrown there. And that one came from the secondary, so we'll see what the call is.
There's some pushing and shoving taking place over there.
2 officials confer. Face mask against the Pirates, and Cease throws his hands up like he can't believe it. How many yards will this be? It could be for 15. We saw 1 for 5 earlier in this game, but that was because he was half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, yep, just 5. So he must have grabbed and released right afterwards.
Okay.
Maybe getting jammed up on pass coverage there and accidentally grabbed it and then let go.
Okay, so here we go now. Back to the line of scrimmage. The Bulldogs go as they move up 5 yards after the face mask penalty. Ehrlich looking to the sideline for the play. He's in the huddle now. The huddle breaks. He's got tight end and a wide receiver to his left, and he's got Biasi to his right. Low snap, looking to his left. Pump fakes. Great double move there. Throw is on the money, not caught. It could have been just beyond him, but we see a flag there.
Flag down, yep.
So the pass is incomplete. The pass was intended for Caden Smith.
You talk about a ball, though, he put it exactly where only his receiver could get it.
Yeah.
And, it's been a remarkable catch coming down one hand, but what an amazing throw. And it looks like defensive pass interference on that.
Yeah, and that play was drawn up for Caden Smith all the way as Ehrlich took the snap, had his eyes locked on Smith the entire time. Smith was able to make a double move and get a pretty good release and at least draw the defensive pass interference. So the ball now on the 21-yard line, a fresh set of downs for the Bulldogs. Handoff there, throwing one Pirate to his left and being met at the line of scrimmage for a rush and no gain by Jaden Rodriguez.
Yeah, Jaden Rodriguez. They brought the H-back in motion and kind of ran like a train power back to the weak side there, but Merrillville was able to sniff that out and be able to fill that gap and shed those blocks and make a nice tackle for only about a 2-yard gain. Might be the first time we've seen a 2-yard gain only for a run play for Crown Point in quite some time as well.
That I would agree with. I certainly think there's a good chance that that's the case. So again, it's that flip motion. So we have a handoff to Jaden Rodriguez off the left tackle and up the field into the second level, and he brings that one to the 11-yard line.
Yeah, same exact play, actually. Just a different look. They shifted kind of their formation rather than just motion, and they came back with that kind of weak side off tackle train look.
So the ball on the 11 for another 4 seasons, first down. It is not first and goal. It is first and 10 on the 11-yard line, so they would have to get to the 1-yard line for a fresh set of downs here, but for all intents and purposes, it looks like they're going to go for the end zone. They hand it off to Ellison. Ellison, patient run to the right side, but he's met by a bunch of Pirates there. Great stop there, specifically from the secondary, coming up and making that play.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Larry Ellison, too, as well, is, he is very explosive, but he's also very patient, where he was looking in kind of that power gap and was able to bounce it back outside, stayed patient, and then get upfield.
Yeah, Antoine Jenkins, the junior safety for the Pirates, standing up Ellison, making a tackle there. So the ball is now on the 8-yard line after the gain of 3. It's 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs. And we got a timeout. So it's 39-7 here in the third quarter. We remind you to visit regionsports.com, Facebook/RegionSportsNation, and Instagram for this week's Powering Indiana Peak Performers, presented by NECA IBEW, Powering Indiana of Lake County, the region's most trusted electricians. Also, we have another pizza sponsor. This one is the official pizza of the Region Sports Network, and it is Langle's Pizza. They've been a favorite since 1979, serving Northwest Indiana from 3 locations, Highland, Cherville, and Crown Point. Enjoy pizza, sandwiches, and more, dine-in or carry-out. Order online at langlespizza.com. Langle's Pizza, the official pizza pie of the Region Sports Network.
It's good pizza over there.
Yeah, I haven't had Langle's in a while. I'd have to think back to the last time I had it. I'll jog my memory and let you know in a second here. It's 2nd and 7 on the 8-yard line. Play action, wide open to Gibbs once again for another Bulldogs touchdown.
And again, that's just getting lost in kind of the commotion that's going on as he goes up to lead block, acting with the play action pass, and he kind of slips off to the other side of the field, wide open. Again, very tough to follow that H-back when he's coming out of the backfield. Been blocking a lot tonight. You think he's going to block again, and then he hits a pass route.
Have yourself a game. Trevor Gibbs, he's got, 3 touchdowns now in the game?
Yeah.
And an interception.
Yep. Big.
That he almost ran back for a defensive touchdown. Brewer on for the PAT. It's 45-7. Now make that 46-7 here in Merrillville. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Welcome back. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. This is the Quintel kickoff here. So the Crown Point Bulldogs coming in Demery Stadium and taking care of business as they lead this one big, 46-7 with 3.5 to go in the third quarter.
They've been firing on all cylinders. When you talk about the run game, you talk about play action game, the passing game, they've been doing very, very well. Again, you talk about, playbooks sometimes aren't as vast early on in this season, but Crown Point is pretty large, and it seems like the whole playbook's in.
Yeah, Brewer looking to kick off again after another Bulldogs touchdown, and this will be the second consecutive kickoff where it's had to be held due to the ball not staying on the tee, and this one's boomed through the back of the end zone. So we were just talking about Langles before the break. When was the last time you had Langles?
Maybe a couple weeks ago.
Okay. I mean, they're a sponsor, so we're only going to talk good about them, right? But how are they doing? Because I had them in late March, and it was really good.
It's very, very good. The wings, too, as well, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I mixed the hot and barbecue together. Actually, it's my favorite over there with the wings. But, yes, that is very well. The pizza's very good. I get it actually quite often.
There you go. Yeah, I don't get it as often just because I'm not local to the area. I'm not near Langles. But we had the pizza during a fantasy baseball draft.
Okay.
Yeah, league mate and friend Jason Surtis was kind enough to open up RWA across the street from Langles, and we drafted there at the Region Wrestling Academy. We got a great run there by Cam Jordan up the middle for a huge gain, and he brings this one out near the 45-yard line.
Yeah, a nice, powerful off-tackle run, and of course, right now, we are seeing some backups in for the Crown Point defense. But again, you talk about the positive. Who do you want to step up, right, for Merrillville? And that's exactly what you want to see here, especially finishing out the third, heading into the fourth, finishing out this game. But a nice, strong, off-tackle kind of power run there for Merrillville.
Yep, so after the huge 24-yard run for the Pirates, it's a Four Seasons first down. Quick out to Martin. Martin stops on a dime, tries to make a guy miss, but he doesn't. He's quickly wrapped up there by number 7, Dominic Fanton.
And that's a great ball by Jordan Sanders. Those out routes are tough to throw. It's a very long ball you got to throw. He was able to put it on the dime there, and again, nice 6-yard gain, I think, 6-7-yard gain with it. Again, taking those one-on-one chances.
So Jordan Sanders under center. He's got J.Q. Johnson with him. But yeah, we had Langles there at RWA, and for those of you listening, you may be familiar with the Crown Point wrestling legend, which is Jason Surtis. That one thrown intended for Lewis, but incomplete. Again, we're talking about Crown Point wrestling here during this broadcast. I mean, a lot of their wrestlers have made some big plays.
Absolutely, they have.
Surtis, 4-time state champion, and he was the first and only national champion at Northwestern in his freshman year at 149. And that night, we actually, after the draft, watched Jesse Mendez win his national championship. So Jesse Mendez, another Crown Point alum, and another 4-time state champion.
Yeah, wrestling very rich for Crown Point. Rich tradition, very good program, and obviously translates to the football field too as well with a lot of these players.
That one caught by Lewis from the pass from Sanders for a big gain, and we get a flag thrown there. But yeah, these wrestlers for Crown Point, they've been making some huge plays. I mean, Lucas Zimborski. We also talked about Van de Schelt. And doing it, and these guys are making plays in multiple phases. So,
absolutely,
you mentioned that Crown Point rich tradition with a couple guys that we mentioned, and Jason Surtis and Jesse Mendez. But yeah, Crown Point, man, what a factory right now it seems like.
Yeah.
So they lead this one 46-7 after 3 in Merrillville, Indiana. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of Notre Dame Athletics, wants to reward you for everyday banking. CU1's high-yield checking offers the opportunity to earn up to 5.25% APY when you make qualifying transactions each month. No monthly fees and no minimum or opening balance required. Plus, you'll be able to bank anytime and anywhere with 24/7 digital and mobile banking. Start making more of your money with Credit Union One. Open an account at cu1.com/high-yield checking.
We love home internet from T-Mobile. Now mesh boost Wi-Fi all over your home. Taking a class in your attic, that dead spot is gone. Stream ballet in your man cave, learn to paint on your lawn.
He's glorious.
And now on the road, you can take T-Mobile Wi-Fi with you. Hey, stay connected and watch what you'll do.
Welcome back. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Ball on the 14-yard line, 1st and 10 to start fourth quarter. Sanders, the quarterback, he's been in here to start the second half. Throws it over the middle to Martin. Martin with a great catch, and then being tackled again by Fanton. So Fanton, the free safety, he's been able to, hit these receivers as soon as they catch the ball, but they've been holding on to him. Rynell Lewis caught one in front of him, and now we see another one by Martin. So it's the ball's on the 3, and it's 1st down for the Pirates. Sanders looks to the sideline for the play. He's got J.Q. Johnson with him in the backfield. 2 receivers to his right. Snap, the handoff to Johnson. Johnson follows a block. Into the end zone he goes. And that's a Merrillville Pirates touchdown.
Yeah, nice solid just up the gut. You got some short yardage. Telling your offensive line, hey, give me a big push. We'll put it in for you.
They do exactly that. So it's now 46-13. Awaiting the extra point. So Benito Gonzalez, he'll line up for the point after. We have a player running onto the field right there. Getting set. The snap, the hold, the kick. It's blocked.
A lot of blocked extra points tonight we have been seeing.
So that is the 3rd blocked point after attempt in this game. So we have ourselves a 46-13 score. We'll take a break. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a power powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. We have another Quintel kickoff. This time after a Merrillville Pirates touchdown, a 3-yard run by J.Q. Johnson. So it's 46-13. Benito Gonzalez kicks it deep, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. And the Bulldogs will start at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, again, obviously this is what you want Merrillville Pirates defense going out there, right? You want to see those leaders step up. You don't want to see them give up. You want to see them continue to keep fighting, make some big plays. Get a 3-and-out here, right? Get the offense back out on the field quickly here. Obviously, we know the game's a little bit far away from you, but you want to see this positive movement, good attitude, positive attitude to keep fighting.
That you do, and it's the positive attitude, it's that fight, it's all that is necessary to not just win, but to really do everything you can to compete in this one. And at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. They are the insurance superheroes. So we get a handoff up the middle for the Bulldogs, and that is to number 4, Jaden Rodriguez. So Jaden Rodriguez, the running back, and we got a new quarterback, I believe, in the game for the Bulldogs, and that's number 14, Kyle Brainerd. So we get some players getting some burn here with under 9 minutes to go.
Some live action.
Yep.
Nothing beats live action. Practice doesn't simulate live action at all.
So Brainerd's got 3 receivers to his right. He's got Rodriguez in the backfield on the 21-yard line. Hand off to Rodriguez up the middle. He goes, plowing forward. So the ball now on the 26-yard line. It's 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs. That clock's running. 8:20 and ticking after the run. Brainerd taking his time there at the line of scrimmage, reading the defense, making sure his guys are in position. Merrillville looks like they're showing pressure. See, handoff, quick tackle there, and the handoff there to number 20, Tommy Guadagno.
Looks to be good for a first. One thing you see from Crown Point's offense, too, is they run that kind of that sugar-style huddle where they're able, and they switch personnel so much right there on the sideline, and then they hit that sugar huddle real quick and flip, and the offensive line's right on the ball. So, again, that's very tough for defenses that are trying to set up for a play of where they need to line up.
Yeah, and Brainerd too. He's able to come in here and do that. I mean, he's a senior, so he knows the playbook, but he's able to kind of keep everyone else going and to not necessarily miss a beat. As another handoff to Guadagno for a nice gain there. Tommy Guadagno, another senior, getting some playing time here.
Yeah, another first down run there. I mean, a couple good runs right there that you talked about for him, and keeping the feet moving. The gap's kind of closed. You keep your feet moving, keep driving, and get yourself another first down.
So the Crown Point Bulldogs, they look intent to run this one out. Also at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. And off again to Guadagno. Great tackle there for Merrillville. That's number 18, Gavin Stainer, I believe.
Yeah.
Or is that Michael Williams?
It was hard to see the number on that.
It was hard to see the number on that. We want to make sure that we give credit where credit is due. I actually do think that was Michael Williams on that one. That looks more like a 6 now that I'm getting the, I'm not getting a profile view of him, and he's kind of looking to the sideline. But yeah, these guys are playing hard to the very end.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what you want to see. Obviously as a coaching staff too, as well. These kids not giving up, keeping a positive attitude, keep going.
Brainerd, this time he'll keep it, and he gets tackled for a loss there. So it's 3rd and long for the Bulldogs, and make sure to stay with us after the game. We'll name the play of the game. It's the Region Sports Network play of the game. The Region Sports Network, the only game in town. So, do you have any thoughts on this Enigenberg exteriors home improvement top 10 here? I mean, we've been here in the booth at Demery Stadium. We're not sure what the scores are around town. I mean, we'll see if we can get to some of them. But, I mean, we had some movement in the top 10 this past week.
Yeah, we did. And again, the top 10 is there's some teams that are right on the bubble, too, as well. They start putting some wins together, stringing some wins together. They can make some movement in. You may have a team fall out, take a hard loss. You never know, honestly, with it. Yeah. But I could see some movement, again, happening here for week 3.
Yeah, so they are intent on running this one out. And Crown Point, they come in here to Merrillville, and, they get this one, like they really took care of business.
They did.
They came into this one prepared. They've won. They came in here with a 20-game winning streak, dating back all the way to, October of 2022?
So October 15th, 2021.
21
is the last time they've lost a regular season game. Crown Point Bulldogs have.
So it is the longest active winning streak in the region, and it is now going to go to 21 games.
Yep.
And this will also, because it is the first game in DAC play, and with this victory, this will be their 17th consecutive DAC win, including the playoffs.
That is correct, too, as well. And on the flip side of that, too, as well, is Merrillville was on a 12-game home winning streak. And last time they lost, actually, was September 2nd of 2022 to none other than Crown Point. That was a 48-40 game. So
wow,
there were some streaks on the line tonight. Obviously, one of them had to be broken, but some remarkable streaks that were going on heading into this game.
Yeah, it's been a remarkable performance for the Bulldogs in the last couple of years. I mean, you mentioned how we were talking about it before the broadcast about their state appearance last season, and Merrillville, to their credit as well, as they went to semi-state, play action pass to the left.
That might be enough for a first down. We'll see.
It might be, and a great job there by number 40 for the Bulldogs, Corey Wright.
Yeah.
Because he kind of had that one in the breadbasket. It almost looked like he was going to have that ball taken away from him, but able to kind of, hold on to that ball for dear life and maintain possession and pick up a first down.
That was a great play. Yeah, he was bobbling, like you said, a little bit and struggling to pull it in, but at the very end, getting tackled, he was able to keep it.
Yeah, it's good to see Corey Wright, a senior, to these seniors getting, in the game here and able to make some plays with under 3.5 minutes to play. Guadagno, and he is absolutely rocked at the second level, and what a huge tackle there for the Merrillville Pirates, and that's Jaden Mason.
Yeah, coming up from that safety spot there, I mean, he was able to fill. That was a nice long game, but he was one tackle away. And then, like you said, Jaden Mason came up and made a nice big hit.
Yeah, Jaden Mason, great tackle for the Pirates. So we're under 3 minutes in this one. Stay with us after the game as we send it back to the Centier Bank studio. You can catch up on the latest scores, highlights, and more, all live from the Centier Bank studio right after the game. We get a flag on the field. I believe it might be false start. Okay, so we're going to replay second down. So we will want to let you know that in the city of Crown Point, Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog athletics and say, "Go Bulldogs!" Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. Mayor Land and the Pace team invite everyone to admire classic cars and new autos at the Crown Point Car Cruise from 4 to 8 p.m. most Thursdays through September 26th at Bulldog Park. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/car cruise. So we got 3 Thursdays left. So head on down to Bulldog Park if you're in Crown Point. We are 90 seconds away from the end of this game, so let's get ourselves into some awards, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's start with, well, what do you want to start with? What do you want to start with, Doug?
Let's go with, what do we say, play of the game?
Ooh, okay, play of the game. So it's time to name the play of the game, the Region Sports Network play of the game. And what is it?
That was that 48-yard touchdown reception thrown from Nora Ehrlich to Szymborski. That was that stop-and-go route we saw on the Crown Point sideline. That set up Crown Point for their 5th touchdown, actually in the first half, and that really kind of set the tone and helped Crown Point pull away and keep all momentum on their side. But it was a nice pass from Noah. He put it right in the breadbasket, wide open. He was able to score, like I said, 48-yard touchdown.
Ehrlich to Szymborski for 48 yards. That is the Region Sports Network play of the game. Region Sports Network, the only game in town. And let's go ahead and let's go with the Boilermakers Local 374 blue-collar player of the game.
Yeah, this is going to go to the Merrillville Pirates, John Peters. Obviously, he's a two-way player, senior wide receiver, DB. Committed to Western Michigan, but when you talk about somebody that has really tried to put the team on his back, he had the 28-yard TD reception in the first quarter, which actually led Merrillville to take the lead in the first quarter. But then you flip it over to the defensive side, too, as well. As much as Crown Point's passing game was electric, many did not go to John Peters his way. He was playing really locked down corner on that side. He was able to step up in the run game, make some nice big tackles. But when you talk about a blue-collar player of the game and a blue-collar kind of style, nitty and gritty, playing both sides of the ball, not coming out of the game, that's going to John Peters for the Merrillville Pirates.
And Peters, if memory serves me correct, he went down for a little bit too.
He did.
And, he was able to, tough it out and continue to play the game, regardless of the score. And so, yeah, definitely embodying blue-collar spirits, and that's local Boilermakers Local 374. Earn what you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. And last but not least, it's time to name the Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crowell Company's, who is the Lantern Man superhero of the game, Doug?
Yeah, we talk about it. Having a game. This player did, and this Trevor Gibbs for Crown Point. You talk about the interception he had on the defensive side of the ball, first and foremost, late in the second, that set up a score late in the second, right before half, that kind of put the nail in the coffin for him. But then you talk about on the offensive side and the passing game that he was involved, going one-on-one against linebackers all night, creating space, getting open, 2 touchdowns receiving from him. And then you talk about the linebacker play, too, as well. We said his name quite a bit. He's playing at that middle linebacker, being able to just fill the A-gaps, those power gaps that Merrillville was trying to get up there, hitting very hard. But and then he also added 2 sacks on top of that. So when you talk about playing overall, both sides of the ball, not coming out of the game, Trevor Gibbs, he had one heck of a game tonight, and it goes to him.
Yeah, Trevor Gibbs, he was heroic in this one. He's the Lantern Man superhero of the game. Brought to you by the Crowell Companies. They have offices open from 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City. So this one has gone final now. It was 46-13 in favor of the Crown Point Bulldogs. They come on the road to Demery Stadium, and they beat the number 2 team in the RSN Top 10. They're still undefeated. They got a 21-game winning streak now, 17 games in a row. They've been victorious against a DAC opponent, and they kick off DAC play with a huge bang, and everyone in the state's going to hear it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, absolutely. They were firing on all cylinders, both offensively and defensive side of the ball, too. And you know, we talk about it, you know, week 3, sometimes teams are trying to find themselves, just like the Merrillville Pirates. Crown Point has hit the ground running. Open playbook. They got a lot of experience and a lot of key positions for them. They are explosive on offense. They run a lot of shifting. They run that sugar huddle that I was talking about. They switch personnel right on the sidelines with 15 seconds left on the play clock. They're quick, they're efficient, and the offense moved the ball tonight. Flip it over to the defensive side. Yeah, they gave up that drive kind of right in the beginning. They were settling in, kind of nerves settling down. But when you talk about the defensive play, running that 3-5, you got to have a lot of athletic linebackers, and they showed that tonight.
They did, and they showed everyone in the state why they're the number 1 team in all of the land. And they're here representing the region, and they get a huge victory to start DAC play. So the Crown Point Bulldogs come in here, and they roll the Pirates in this one. So we want to say thank you to all of our viewers, Facebook.com/Region Sports, our viewers on YouTube.com/Region Sports, RegionSports.com, IHSAATV.org. Special thanks go out to executive producer Chris Ramirez, operations manager Rich Castillo, coordinating producer Zach Miller, sports director Mike DeWan. I also thank you, Doug Ashenbaugh. Doug, providing all that insight and all that analysis, and really being able to help all the viewers see the game from a different lens, from a lens that comes from not just playing experience, but coaching experience and all of that. So that is greatly appreciated. Special thanks to Zach Zanelli, our producer in this one. This was an audio-only broadcast, but we'll be adding the video to it as well. But everything ran smoothly, and that's what happens in a Zach Zanelli production. On the camera, Scott Stessel. So you'll see the images from that when this game gets the video component added to the broadcast. You'll see Scott Stessel's work and all the great things that he does, and I'm certain that it will show for it. Special thanks to Coach Craig Bazia of Crown Point and Merrillville's Brad Cease, the athletic director for Crown Point, Bill Derula, and Merrillville's Amy Beckham, the athletic director here at Merrillville High School. So I'm Mike Jamia, and for all of us here, thank you so much, and stay tuned for more Region Sports Network action. But that's all we got here in Merrillville as it ends 46-13. Take care and have a great night. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.